Colonels back again live on 105.5 KD Country. I am Kyle Haney. Thank you so much for joining us wherever you're at. Alongside me again, my tag team partner, the Big O Agent Zero, Oscar Briggs. And Mr. Briggs, it's another group of Eagles in town to take on the Altavista Colonels. Colonels took care of Prince Edward pretty handedly last week. Wonder what Greensville County has in store for them this week.
Greensville County coming in 1-1. Of course, the Colonels are 1-1 as well. So one of those teams come out tonight with a 2-1 and off to a good start for the season.
Yes, somebody's record is going to improve to better than 500. The other team's record is obviously going to fall below 500. Your record always 1,000 when you're over at Subway in Altavista. Three great locations, of course. Main Street, also inside the Walmart on Clarion Road, and then up the road a bit on Route 29 North inside Foster Fields. This is the Subway pregame show. The Reuben is back at Subway. I'm sure I'll find plenty of excuses to talk about that during the Subway pregame show. We found another good excuse to go visit with Mike Sharness, the head coach of the Altavista Colonels, before the game. He had some interesting things to say, Mr. Briggs, and I think it's really a case of a lot of unknown here with this Greensville County team.
Yeah, he talked about, you'll hear in the interview, that there's not a lot available as far as film goes. And in our attempt to track down some data, box scores, what have you, we weren't able to track down a lot either. So an opponent that we haven't seen before coming into Altavista, and not much media out there either. So stay with us, and we'll give you the best description we can as this game unfolds.
Yeah, if you can slide by the crack KD Country research staff, then you truly are flying under the radar, and Greensville County has done just that so far, but we'll get to see them firsthand in person. Looking forward to a good ball game. It's a beautiful Friday evening. No place better to be than in Altavista, Virginia tonight for this one. It's the Colonels, it's the Eagles. You're going to hear it all live. Subway pregame show returns right after this on 105.5 KD Country.
Zaxby's, Wards Ferry Road, Lynchburg.
Man, that house salad looks good.
Dude, it's so good.
How about one bite for the road?
No.
Sharing is caring.
No. You can't have any of my salad, bro.
Wait, I got it right here. I got $20 in a dream, yeah.
Well, that's a hit right there, dude.
Thank you.
Thanks, dude.
The house salad. Grilled chicken atop mixed greens, cucumbers, Roma tomatoes, cheddar and jack cheeses, and fried onions. Served with Texas toast. Zaxby's, indescribably good.
The Village Barbershop, an old-school 1960s-style barbershop, offering classic and current cutting techniques for gentlemen and boys. No appointment necessary. Responsible pricing in a clean family environment. Village Barbershop, open Tuesday through Friday, 8 to 6, Saturdays till noon. Stop by and see Danny Barber at Village Barbershop, serving Altavista and surrounding areas from 619 Broad Street. Give them a try.
Brother needs a pickup, sister wants a ride. Uncle needs a sports car to keep him satisfied. Mama, she wants comfort, luxury and style. And Daddy, he just wants a deal that's gonna make him smile. Everybody's happy, you can hear them all say, we're glad we went to Feller's Chevrolet. Competition for all dealers in Central VA. A short drive will save you money. Feller's Chevrolet in Altavista.
PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this award-winning broadcast. PCM Industrial Maintenance and Construction Specialist, providing welding, millwright, erection, and fabrication services to all forms of industry throughout the Mid-Atlantic region from offices in Altavista. PCM Industrial Services wishes Coach Sharness and the Altavista football team a safe and successful season. Go Colonels!
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Back here on the Subway pregame show from English Stadium in Altavista. I'm joined once again with the head coach, Mike Sharness of the Altavista Colonels. And Coach Sharness, you beat Prince Edward last week, 45-12. You scored on offense, defense, and special teams. I know you had to feel much better about the extra point operation. You guys had a couple successful ones there. What else did you like about the victory last Friday?
Well, number one, just that we got the W. No matter how you get it, it really did feel good to win. You know, it's funny, but it was a good win for our football team. And we had a lot of mistakes from the first game, and we corrected some, and we still got a long way to go. We put the ball on the ground a couple times and threw an interception and had 3 turnovers. Prince Edward had 7, so that hurt them tremendously, and I think that was a determining part of the game. But I think defensively, first off, we moved some personnel around, changed a little bit of our scheme, and became a lot more aggressive and a lot more and quicker on defense. So we're pleased with that.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about your defense because I know you and D coordinator Mike Revis were talking about making some changes. You did appear to be attacking a lot more, and boy, you bottled up a really good running back in Delquan Bigelow. You were meeting him in the hole and sometimes even beating him to the hole when there was a hole there for him.
Yeah, that was, we couldn't run, at least we didn't think we could run this type of defense against Central Lunenburg with the style of offense they ran. And we're kind of just testing the waters with that right now and seeing how our 3-stack measures up against some different offenses. And years past, we've had to change or alter some things, and we just felt that keeping the kids in one position and getting them good at that one position would be better for us, and it was last Friday night.
Yeah, speaking of running the football, you guys did that very well. You ran for about 246 yards with a bunch of different guys getting the football. Who stood out for you on the offensive line, or maybe it was the offensive line as a whole?
I think we're still trying to come together as a unit, which the offensive line has to do for us to perform to our maximum. Kagan Cox, our left tackle, I thought played a very good game, and Dante Poindexter, who's a glorified lineman, as our H-back, he blocked very well, and we want to get, other guys did a good job. We just got to get a little bit more out of our whole team, including our wide receivers and our running backs when they're blocking, and we're getting there. We're getting the effort in getting everyone involved in that blocking part.
Talking with the head coach of the Altavista Colonels, Mike Sharness. Let's transition to tonight's ball game against Greensville County. New opponent for the Altavista Colonels. I can't think of any sport that Altavista's played Greensville in. What do they bring to the table besides just maybe the unknown?
Yeah, there's a lot of unknown. We don't have a lot of much of a scout report, much film on them for different reasons, and the quality of film is not the best, but they look to be, very similar to Prince Edward with a number of athletes they might have on the field. Looks like they've got speed, and again, the size. It looks like they have some size also, which is reminiscent of Prince Edward. They're going to run a spread offense, and they mix it up. They got a 6'5" receiver and a 200 to 215 pound running back that hits the hole real hard. So we got, number one, we've got to stop the running game and stop this running back. I think his last name's Anderson, I'm not sure. And then defensively, they run a 4 defense, a 40 defense, and man coverage, and we've got to execute better offensively again this third game here than what we did this second game. We can't put the ball on the ground.
Did you feel like the home crowd gave your guys a boost last week? Were they a little extra pumped up to come out and play in front of the hometown?
Yeah, yeah, they did, and the atmosphere was pretty good. It was pretty cool. I think coming and playing that first home game, I don't generally glance at the crowd. I don't generally listen to the crowd, and I just felt kind of home. Felt good. It was a buzz. I felt a buzz in the air, first ball game, and just a lot of excitement. I think the kids, they definitely feed off that.
Yeah, they do. Final question for you here, and it's a little bit different. This is, of course, the anniversary of 9/11, the tragic events that happened and took so many lives. What do you think football does for America, maybe high school football? How do you think your team and this town, not so much the events of 9/11, but how do you feel like maybe football brings us together and makes us more American maybe?
I think when you can get a program that's been successful, and winning football games and winning games, period, it just creates a lot of pride and the work ethic, and the kids having to work hard the American way and all. So yeah, it has that element to it as far as what you have on a Friday night.
Well, the crowd's been good on a Friday night here in Altavista for a while. No exception tonight. Greensville County and the Colonels Set to hook up in about 20 minutes on 105.5 KD Country.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1909, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg. Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoon, so you can come by anytime, any day, 11 a.m. till 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in, bring the family, see your friends at Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
Stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, on the ready to keep you comfortable year-round. Locally owned and operated, just a call away, with over 20 years experience. Licensed and bonded. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, specializing in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical, any season, anytime. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Give them a call today. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, Gretna.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway pregame show returns here from Altavista High School. It's the Altavista Colonels taking on the Greensville Eagles. We're doing some 9/11 remembrance items right now. We just observed a moment of silence here at English Stadium, Mr. Briggs, and now the cheerleaders are doing a balloon release routine. Pardon me. Easy for me to say, but definitely you heard me ask Coach Sharness about the anniversary of 9/11 here, and it's always a day that we look back on and reflect. And like I said, I think it's an opportunity to think about just how we can come together as a country, and still the greatest country on earth, I think.
Yeah, certainly. As the day unfolded today, people talked about different memories that they had. And one of the things that's etched in my mind is certainly the days following. As you looked up into the sky, it was unusually clear, but there were no contrails. There was no jet traffic. There was no plane traffic. So to me, that was pretty amazing. And my father, who was a top turret gunner in World War II and a B-24, was scheduled to have a reunion that weekend in Dayton, and him and my mom were supposed to fly up and meet some of the guys that they flew with in the 8th Air Force, and was unable to do that. And that was just a missed opportunity that they'll never get back. And those are the kind of things that are kind of etched in my mind.
Yeah, it's an interesting memory there and an interesting story, and I'm sure a lot of people have stories similar to that in one regard or another, but it is a nice thing they're doing right now. They've got 3 banners. One says in loving memory of the victims, the other says in loving honor of the heroes, and the third says September 11th we remember. And the Colonel Crazies have gotten all painted up in red, white, and blue paint of various designs, some better than others. You don't have to be an artist to be in the Colonel Crazies. I think they just throw some paint on you in the parking lot, right?
That's
Maybe
exactly.
we should volunteer for that one week.
Yeah, they're painted. That's as far as I'll go with that.
Yeah, the Colonel Crazies, of course, the student cheering section here at Altavista High School, and they really do get behind all the ball clubs here at Altavista, and fan support has never been lacking for the Colonels, whether it comes from the students or the community.
You bring that up, and I'm going to beg to differ a little bit. When the Colonels were struggling in the early 2000s with a football program, this place was a ghost town. You might have 100, 150 people on a Friday night here for a home game. Those days are long gone since Coach Sharness got here in 09. Was it 09? Is that right?
I think it was might have been 08.
08, 07. Anyways, when he got here, certainly that trend started to turn around, and always a good crowd here at home now.
Yeah, it really is. The fan support, like I said, rivals any other school, at least in our area anyway. Let's step aside for another timeout here in the Subway pregame show. We'll bring it all back, tell you who sponsors our game, and we'll give you a little bit more of a preview of this ball game. It's Greensville County. It's Altavista High School. It's all live on 105.5 KD Country.
This broadcast is brought to you by the members of the KD Country Sports Club.
Chef's Drive-In, keeping drive-ins alive with hometown pride and service.
One Stop Mart, where the gas is cheap, the beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
El Cerrito and Altavista. Throw on a sombrero, shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time.
Altavista Medical and Oncology Massage Therapy. Broad Street can help you relieve your pain.
Vista Foods Altavista, your hometown grocery with precious produce and best meats.
McDonald's and Altavista, committed to the community and bringing the world's favorite food.
Colonel's Football, brought to you by the Sports Club on KD Country.
Prompt, confidential, professional. A-Town Bail Bonds. 434-401-0253. Local, reliable, available 24/7. A-Town Bail Bonds. 434-401-0253. When a friend or family member is arrested and jailed, call a professional. Call Chip Rourke and A-Town Bail Bonds. 434-401-0253. Get answers. Get help. A-Town Bail Bonds. 434-401-0253.
Apple Auto Glass is your windshield repair and replacement center in Lynchburg. You get a free car wash with all windshields replaced in the shop. Apple Auto Glass wants the fans to enjoy the boys of fall this high school football season.
When I feel that chill, smell that fresh cut grass, I'm back in my helmet, cleats, and shoulder pad. Kings of the school, man, where the boys of fall.
Apple Auto Glass salutes the boys of fall.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
The Reuben is back at Subway. 3 fantastic locations to try it out in Altavista. Main Street, also in the Walmart on Clarion Road, and of course Route 29 inside Foster Fuels. National anthem time here right now, Oscar Briggs, so we'll step away again from the Subway pregame show. We'll bring it back with the starting lineups and take it to kickoff right after this on 105.5 KD Country.
Bank with the local team. Bank of the James on Main Street in Altavista. Stop by our office today to talk with Bobby Walker and his team of local bankers to learn about local banking with Bank of the James. We offer a full line of personal and business banking products and services, including online banking and bill pay, personal and commercial loans and lines of credit, and mortgage loans. Bank with the local team. Bank of the James. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
English is
so much more.
English is
More than a hardware store.
English is.
Are you planning a painting project this fall? English's is now your authorized dealer for Valspar paint. Valspar, well known for its quality and color selection. Stop by English's in Altavista. Let their paint department help you make your next painting project a success.
English's is your complete home center.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service.
A family serving family since 1905.
Personal, memorable memorial moments, celebrating life and more.
Pre-arrangements with confidence.
Trust and care from our family to yours. Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service.
A family serving family since 1905.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Final segment of the Subway pregame show here on 105.5 KD Country. I'm Kyle Haney. He's Oscar Briggs. Thanks so much for taking us along on your Friday night. Maybe you're inside English Stadium or maybe you're roaming around somewhere else. Oscar, let's think of some things the Colonels can improve on offensively and defensively over last week, because there was a lot of positives from last week's game. But maybe what are some things that you and I have in mind that maybe they need to still clean up a little bit. Still very much a work in progress.
Well, certainly they are. And again, the youth is the predominant theme, and inexperience. First on the offensive side of the ball, the one thing that I think that they really got to clean up is the turnovers, putting the ball on the ground a couple of times in an interception. As they get a little bit deeper into the season, they've got to eliminate those mistakes. When you get up against an Appomattox, a Rustburg, a William Campbell, those schools, if you turn the ball over, you're creating a deep hole for yourself.
Yeah, I would agree wholeheartedly. I mean, 3 turnovers in week 1 against Lunenburg, 3 last week against Prince Edward. That number has to get cut down to 1 or hopefully none anyway as the season goes on. Our season is made possible by our really good lineup of 2015 sports sponsors. They include First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. English's, your authorized Valspar paint dealer. Zaxby's, daringly flavorful, absolutely craveable, Wards Ferry Road in Lynchburg. The Altavista Moose Family Center, bringing communities closer together and celebrating life. Be a Moose. The Altavista Office of Economic Development, helping Altavista grow. English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. Feller Chevrolet, a short drive will save you money. And, of course, Feller sponsors the YouTube on-demand rebroadcast. You can listen to the Colonels anytime you want on the KD Country YouTube page. Also, PCM Industrial Services, serving the Mid-Atlantic region with quality maintenance and construction services. A-Town Bail Bonds, be good, but if you can't be good, call Chip. Call 338-6860, 338-6860. The Village Barbershop, family-style barbershop offering current and classic cutting techniques for boys. I always seem to botch that, Danny. I'm sorry. I know you're listening down there at Village Barbershop right now. Don't hold it against me, and don't give that guy a bad haircut because you flinch when you hear me mess that up.
Yeah, not only that, but it's playing out on the speakers on the street, too, so everybody walking up and down Broad Street heard that.
We love Danny Barber in the Village Barbershop. I know he's going to forgive me. I might have to bring him a pizza or something, but he'll forgive me. Best Bet Motors, a respected name you can trust with quality vehicles, Route 29, just south of the airport. Bank of the James, we're making a difference in banking and in our community. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and comfortable in between. El Cazador, be sure to try their new menu, Main Street, Altavista. Apple Auto Glass, mobile service with pickup and delivery, celebrating the boys of fall. Highview Motors, from small to tall, Highview has it all. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Services, a family serving families since 1905. Select Air Mechanical and Electrical, an authorized trained dealer. Online at selectairmechanical.com. Don't forget Radio Shack and Altavista. They sponsor our Player of the Game award at the end of the games. Radio Shack and Altavista, your local Boost and Telos, White's Music Shop, and more. Radio Shack, they're here to serve you. The Colonels are here and ready to serve the fans with some good football. They're about to break through that spirit line down there in the right end zone, Oscar, the south end zone. And I can tell the crowd is very excited.
Yeah, victory line out to about the 40-yard line. Inner Sandman playing, fog machine rolling. Kids are pumped, ready to play some football.
Not quite the vibe when Sandman is played there at Lane Stadium for a home game, but definitely a good crowd here at Altavista. They're into it. We're excited. We're excited that you have decided to join us. Eleanor Haney, our sound engineer back at home base, going to make sure everything runs smoothly. Greensville County, again, very much an unknown. That's Altavista's opponent here tonight. I see them warming up. They're in some spread stuff, Oscar. They're running some option. They're throwing the football. You heard Coach Sharness mention big bruising style of running back. That presents problems for any defense. I could see it giving the Colonels defense some problems, but boy, that Altavista D really looked about 10 times better in week 2 than they did from week 1. Big improvement.
Well, we talked about the offensive side of the ball. And the defensive side of the ball, I think they need to continue to do what they did against Prince Edward, and that's stay aggressive. Make sure that, with the personnel changes that they made, they were able to get out on the edge and turn some plays back into the middle. That certainly was advantageous in eliminating some of the high-scoring plays that we saw with Lunenburg and limiting Prince Edward to 12 points.
Yeah, I would agree with you. To contain men, whether it was the defensive end or an outside linebacker, they did a nice job of turning those outside running plays back inside to where the rest of the pursuit, the rest of the defense was coming from. And they did a nice job, as I said in the interview with Coach Sharnes, bottling up a very good running back. I mean, you could tell Delquan Bigelow was polished and ready back there to carry the football, but the Colonels, for the most part, just shut him down.
Well, you talked about the offensive line and talked about Greensville. When you talk about the offensive line, listen to this. 289, 307, 233, 275. I don't know how many of those kids are starting, but those are some big kids.
Well, I imagine for most football coaches, that kind of size might get you in the starting lineup right away. Well, they'll work on the skills as the year goes on. Size was a bit of an issue last week. Prince Edward had plenty of it, but the Colonels seemed to handle it very well. The Eagles ran for 86 yards on the ground. Colonels ran for 246. So battle in the trenches, at least last week. Certainly you have to give the check mark to the Altavista Colonels, but this is a brand new week. That's why they play the football game. Altavista in the home orange jerseys tonight with white pants, black and orange trim. Everybody looks to be sporting orange socks to go along with the black helmet. Orange A in the middle of it. Last week it was black on black was the uniform combination for the Colonels, and Altavista doesn't have a bad look out there with the uniforms. Greensville County, very reminiscent of, say, a Nelson County team. Green pants, white jerseys, yellow numbers.
And we love the yellow numbers.
Yeah, the yellow number on the white jersey always makes it tough for a broadcaster. Maybe when the sun goes down, we'll find out that they're neon yellow and they stand out. Somehow I doubt it, Mr. Briggs, but we'll try. Colonels are going to kick off to start. They'll kick back towards Bedford Avenue, the north end zone. Greensville County, 1-1 on the season, just like the Altavista Colonels. Colonels travel to Rustburg next week. That's a football game that everybody has been looking forward to ever since they started playing it again a couple years ago. Here comes Walker Allen on with the run up in this one. Nice high booming kick, going to land on about the 4-yard line. Returned by number 27, Tevin Banks. Banks is going to run into a wave of Colonels return coverage men. Shut down before he could even get to the 20-yard line, Oscar. So nice kick by Walker Allen. Nice coverage by the rest of the guys.
Yeah, Tevin Banks tried several different ways to cut back and find an alley, but the Colonels did a great job of staying in their lanes, staying at home, and shut that down. Shy of the 20-yard line. Nice opening kickoff for the Colonels.
5 seconds have gone by in the Select Air first quarter. Greensville County will run their first play from scrimmage from the far hash mark, their own 18-yard line, working left to right from our perspective here in the first quarter. Spread formation on offense to open up for Greensville. Altavista in the customary 3-3 stack defense. Cornerbacks are playing about 5 yards off the ball. Here comes a receiver in motion for Greensville. They hand it to him. He's going to try around the right side. He's got some room around there. That's Naquan Jordan. Jordan thrown down around the 30-yard line after a nice game. Kendra down there from Subway saying, hey, I don't know if she's listening on the TuneIn app right now or not. That's a Greensville County first down, Oscar.
Yeah, Greensville did a nice job of isolating Nelson Dews then, and the wide receiver had him pinned up. Nelson couldn't make it. He tried to force the player to go inside. He bounced outside. Nice pickup, 12 yards. Like you said, first down for Greensville.
Jet sweep around the right side. Very successful for Naquan Jordan there. It's number 5, Shaheem Anderson, running the quarterback spot for Greensville County. They'll snap this one left hash mark, their own 31-yard line. Colonels crowding the line of scrimmage. 3 receivers to the right for Greensville. Anderson wants to throw the right. Bullet across the middle is complete. Bobbled momentarily. Receiver was only about 2 yards off the line of scrimmage, and Anderson just gave him the fastball right in his gut, Oscar. But holds on for a 4-yard gain.
That was a nice little route. I think they're probably trying to set something up to Jordan Peoples, who's a 6'5" wide receiver. He's in the slot, and he's been out wide too, and he was a good-looking athlete.
Passing play again for Anderson. Pass tipped and then incomplete. They were looking for Jordan Peoples over the middle that time. Pass looked like it got tipped by number 28, Andres Diaz-Escura, the linebacker for Altavista.
And nice job filling that lane. If the quarterback was a little bit more patient on that play, he might would have had something open with Peebles.
3rd and 6 for the visiting Greensville County Eagles here. 11:19 left to play in the first, still no score. Spread offense again in the shotgun formation. Soft snap goes back to Anderson. Throws over the middle. Pass broken up by the Colonels defense. Looks like Jacob Adams and also Jonathan Montague teaming up to tip that ball away and get a nice 3rd down stop.
Boy, nice job by Escura shooting the gap on that. He was untouched getting to the quarterback and rushed that throw.
Well, Escura is an interesting case study. You know, Coach Sharnes told us about him before week 1. He said he's an exchange student, but he can play. He's played some football before, and he's going to see some time. Punting formation for the Eagles here on 4th down. Mateo Malbec waits for the kick on his own 31-yard line. Snap is back. Punter had to move to his left. It was nearly blocked. I think it was just a bad kick. It didn't get blocked. It's going to take a nice Greensville roll all the way down inside the Altavista 30-yard line. 29.5, we'll call it. Diaz Escura nearly got in there, and Dante Poindexter was in the area too, Oscar.
Yeah, he didn't get blocked because they both overran. They were both in position to make that block, and just mistimed it. They were there.
Colonels will take over. Their first snap from scrimmage will come from, they've moved the football up just a little bit to the 30-yard line. Near hash mark, that's the left side hash mark from our perspective. Close to the Altavista Colonel bench. They're moving right to left here on a nice weather evening at English Stadium. They fake the handoff to Malbec. They give it to Montague instead. Montague right up the middle. Across the 34, now falls down across the 35. They'll probably spot this on the 36. Good opening gain on a running play for Altavista.
And Montague leading the Colonels rushing about 195 yards, and that'll put him over the 200-yard mark for the year so far. And nice two-headed attack as they're able to use Montague and Nelson Dews.
Nelson Dews has run the ball effectively. Jonathan Montague has run the ball effectively. The quarterback, Jacob Adams, has run the ball very well with 5 rushing touchdowns on the ground. They put Mateo Malbec in motion. They hand it to Montague again. Montague hit hard about a yard after the line of scrimmage and dropped by Trajan Smith. And that'll bring up 3rd and 3 with 10:19 left to play in the Select Air first quarter. Still no score from Altavista.
Interesting run that time by Jonathan as he bounced through that hole. Had a little bit of open ground there, but kept both arms wrapped around that ball, and I'm sure that's been the message from the Colonel coaching staff this week.
Shotgun formation for Altavista. This ball going to get snapped from the middle of the field. Adams went with the hard snap count. Nobody jumped. They'll hand it off to Jonathan Montague again. Nice hole right up the middle behind right guard. Montague with the first down. Dragged down just across the 41-yard line. Great blocking up front by the Altavista offensive line. Center Ken Brumfield. And also it looked like Coleman Teagarden over there on that right side with some good people moving there to get Montague some open space.
And we talk about offensive line. Altavista goes 270, 275, 225. Oh, and you can run Dante Poindexter into that mix as well.
That's right. Shotgun formation again. 2 receivers to each side. Adams wants to throw. Line drive pass looking for Walker. Allen on the left sideline. Falls incomplete. Walker tried to scoop his arms under the low throw, but was unable to reel it in. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
I keep saying I want to say flag on the play as I look at number 29, Devontae Moody for Greensville. He's got on flag-colored shoes.
Yellow shoes and a good-looking pair of shoes at that. He's playing the middle linebacker spot. You heard Coach Sharnes mention it's predominantly a 4-man front on the defensive line for Greensville County. 3 linebackers right now and 2 safeties, it looks like. They'll put Mateo Malbec in motion again. Option play. This is Adams and Malbec to the left side. There's a flag come out. Adams is across the 50, now the 45. Ankle tackle pulls him down. That was number 29, Devontae Moody on the stop. There is a flag about 15 yards short of where Adams got to. I have a suspicion this is going to go against the Altavista Colonels on some kind of a hold or an illegal block.
And you're right, that's a call. It's a hold. That's a spot foul from at the 46-yard line. That'll mark it back 10 yards to the 36. It'll be 2nd and, I don't know, 15, 16.
Yeah, something in that area. 9:27 left to play in the Select Air first quarter. Remember, they're online at selectairmechanical.com, selectairmechanical.com. Altavista with a few substitutions. The aforementioned Dante Poindexter will check in on offense. So we'll see if the Colonels decide to stay on the ground and use Poindexter as a blocking back. Not that they can't throw with Dante in there. Looks like Josh McClure out there on the far wide out. Walker Allen is over here on the near side as a wide out. We will call it 2nd and 15. This ball is going to get snapped from the 36-yard line of Altavista. They put Poindexter in motion right behind the left guard. They hand it off to Nelson Dews. Dews tries the hip shake and the fast feet to get out of a tackle, but can't run out of the first tackle there by the man with the green shoes, or the yellow shoes, excuse me. That is Devontae Moody.
Boy, Devontae Moody doesn't grab him. There's open ground for Nelson. He picks up at least 10 or 12 yards.
Yeah, you really got to credit Moody with a nice stop there. He pretty much hit the hole the same time as Nelson, made the solo tackle, and Mr. Briggs, you're right, a lot of green space if Moody is not there. Guess that's why he's playing the middle linebacker spot for the visiting Eagles. Here comes Altavista on third down. Adams muffed the snap. He's trying to run it down. I don't think he got there. I think this is Greensville County football. Adams missed the initial snap. He missed trying to pick it up, and they are going to say Eagle football. The visitors with a very big opportunity after a turnover from Altavista.
Well, we talked about the youth, the inexperience. We talked about the turnovers. Their discretion's a better part of valor. They teach you in the Lynch Station Lizards, the great feeder program that we have here for the Colonels, that when there's a fumble, first thing you do is fall on the ball. Jake tried to pick that ball up and make a play, and Colonels paid the price for that.
Colonels did pay the price. Adams, you can't fault him too much. He's a playmaker trying to do the right thing, but I think you're right. You got to just fall on that football there if you have a chance. Shotgun formation again for Greensville County here. They'll operate 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line of Altavista. Running play here, and that play's going nowhere. Running back got so swallowed up, I never even saw a chance to get his number there. Dante Poindexter, one of the first guys, followed by McClure, and then the rest of the team.
Aiken, Traquan Farmer, there were 4 players right there that made contact. He had nowhere to go. Nice job of shutting that play down. Loss of about 4.
8:10 left to play here in the Select Air first quarter. Whistles come out. Referees want to stop play. Now the official just says wind the clock. I think the clock was rolling anyway. Now we're going to get a timeout. Greensville County wants to stop that clock. 8:04 left to play in the first quarter. Still 0-0 here between Greensville County and Altavista. Quick timeout on 105.5 KD Country.
Hello, this is Jerry Miley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. Asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about, to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Somebody's listening to Altavista football down there at the Moose Family Center right now, Oscar. Big shout out to them and shout out to you wherever you're at. Get in touch with us on Facebook and we'll say hello to you too. Passing play here for Greensville County on first down. It's complete. That's Peebles across the left side. Numbers near the 10, down across the 5 and to the 2-yard line. Colonel's secondary had to race over and get to him, but a nice hook up there on second down. We'll call it a 25-yard passing play to get Greensville County right close to pay dirt, Oscar.
One-on-one coverage. Walker Allen and Peebles had him isolated, and Peebles made a move, and it just absolutely turned Walker around. Walker did a nice job of recovering and getting back and caught up and making the tackle, but Greensville County's in business.
They are. Spread formation again. 2 receivers to each side. The running back is to Anderson's right. He'll fake it. He wants to keep it himself. Going to try and go left side. Trying to get run down out there. That looks like Traquan Farmer on the stop. Nice pursuit angle there by Farmer to keep working him to the sideline and then finally wrestle him down.
Boy, Traquan continues to improve. We're starting to call his name more and more. Special teams pretty much only on the opening night at Lunenburg, and then Prince Edward, we caught him several times last year, and we've already caught him 2 or 3 times a night. He's looking good.
That's a loss of 2. They'll snap this ball now from the 5-yard line. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Receivers don't look like they were lined up properly, but now they're set. Shotgun snap. Anderson wants to throw over the middle, batted away by Jonathan Montague. Just got the right hand on it and basically swatted at, but it might have saved a touchdown there because they were looking for Peoples again on the slant route.
Yeah, Peoples was open. That little slant route, he was open, and Montague did a great job of getting that hand up. A stop here would be huge after the turnover and the big pass play.
Very much so. 7:16 left to play in the first quarter. 0-0 is our score. Second time Greensville County has touched the football. First was the opening kickoff. They had to punt that possession away. This comes after an Altavista turnover. Anderson wants to roll out and throw. Dumps it off to the running back, Naquan Jordan. Some question about whether it was a backwards pass or not, but the officials just say no, it's an incomplete pass. Jordan just couldn't handle it. I mean, he was really a mere 3 or 4 feet from Anderson. Anderson might have been wise to just keep that.
It was an option play, and he held on to it a little bit too long, and I don't think it would have made any difference because there were a bevy of Colonels there to make the stop.
Yep, 4th and goal here. Shotgun snap comes quickly. Anderson wants to throw, looking for Peebles at the goal line. Touchdown. Jordan Peebles there on the 5-yard touchdown grab. Greensville County lined up very quickly, Oscar. They didn't think about whether they're going to go for it much at all. It seemed like they knew the play call, too. Jordan Peebles on an out route, caught it on around the 1-yard line and just dove it into the end zone.
Well, when you're 2-8 last year and haven't had a winning season since 2010, you can take those I'm going to say risks, but really worst-case scenarios, you pin the Colonels deep in their own territory.
Yep, that's right. Greensville County 2-8 last year, 1-1 so far this year, but as we are seeing, a very potent and capable football team. They lead 6-0. Extra point on the way. Got tipped. Might have still went through. No, they'll say it did not go through, so the score will remain 6-0 Greensville County. 7 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Colonels get the football when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Start your business on the winning drive with an Altavista revolving loan. It's an opportunity to score big for your company's future growth. Funds available up to $10,000. Loan rate 1% below prime. Huddle up with Altavista Economic Development Director Dennis Jarvis II at Altavista Town Hall. Make your move today. The Altavista Revolving Loan Fund encourages economic development and enhances community vitality.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Greensville County recovers a fumble in Altavista territory and then capitalizes, Mr. Briggs. The long passing play gets them to the 2-yard line, and then 4 plays later, they get in the end zone via the pass again. It was Shaheem Anderson to Jordan Peebles on the touchdown and the big play that got him there.
Yeah, they're looked like they started off trying to run the ball. Colonels shut that down. They've had some success throwing the ball, although the Colonels have disrupted, gotten their hands on several in the passing lane, but looks like Greensville's going to continue to try to throw the ball.
Here comes the kickoff for Greensville. This kick is not very long. Traquan Farmer is going to field it on the 25-yard line and try and return it. He's going to cut all the way across the left side of the field, and he might have room over there. Hip shake and a shoulder move gets him down to the 36-yard line, maybe the 37. Farmer caught that all the way on the right side numbers and brought it to the left sideline, so he covered a lot of ground there for a decent return, decent field position.
It was a 45-yard return, net of about 10.
There you go.
Nice job by Peebles getting down on the and making that stop. He was the last defender, and again, Traquan would have had 10 or 15 additional yards if he could have gotten by him.
Colonels will set up in the shotgun formation as usual. 3 receivers, 2 are to the right, 1 is to the left. The tight end is to the right as well. They've got Dante Poindexter, tight end is left. They're going to run behind Dante Poindexter to the right, though. Jonathan Montague with one man draped on his jersey, driving forward to the 40. Somebody came out of a shoe over there. I don't know if it was Jonathan Montague or somebody else. Now a Greensville County player will claim it. That was number 50, Jalen Anderson. It looked like Jalen Anderson might have been also the guy that made the stop, interestingly enough.
Yeah, it was. His shoe was in the backfield.
2nd and 6 now for Altavista. They'll snap this ball from the middle of the field, 41-yard line, working right to left in the home orange jersey. 6:25 left to play in the Select Air first quarter. Jacob Adams takes the waist-high shotgun snap. Fastball to the right. Picked off by number 2, Naquan Jordan, and Jordan is going to house it. A pick 6 for Greensville County. Adams tried to sneak the fastball by Jordan. He jumped in front, caught it cleanly, and took it in the house for a touchdown.
Boy, that's exactly what happened at Lunenburg with that same pass play, except it was at the goal line. Boy, that kid's got speed.
Whoa.
Jordan's off and running. Adams tried to track him down. That wasn't going to happen. Colonels trail here 12-0 early. 6:16 remaining here in the first quarter.
Interesting developments here at English Stadium. I'm not sure that we saw this one coming. We didn't have a lot of intel about Greensville County. Not much else to go on other than the record from last year, the 1-1 record from this year. They lost to Amelia last week. But as we are finding out very quickly, this football team is ready for action. They're going to go with 4 wide receivers here on the 2-point conversion play. Back is to Anderson's left. Shaheem Anderson takes the head-high snap, looking left initially to throw, rolling to his right, gets the pass off. That's intercepted. Colonel's Nelson Dews stops the 2-point conversion, so that saves Altavista 2, and that could end up being big later on down the road. 6:16 left to play. Colonel's trail 12-0. Quick timeout on 105.5 KD Country.
The morning of September 11, 2001, 19 terrorists hijacked 4 commercial airplanes, killing nearly 3,000 people from 93 different nations. Join Best Bet Motor Sales in commemorating the anniversary of 9/11. Take time to remember the many lives that were lost and how we as U.S. citizens came together to mourn and rebuild this great nation. Thank you to all U.S. military members and law enforcement for serving. It's time to remember 9/11 and how precious and great life is. Best Bet Motor Sales, 29 South, Lynchburg.
Here's more award-winning high school sports with Kyle and Oscar on 105.5 KD Country.
12-0 is our score. Greensville County, the Eagles on the road from Emporia, Virginia, are on top by 2 touchdowns, Oscar. Both of them coming off turnovers. That one, the pick 6, the one before it, the fumble, and then they had to run a few plays on offense, but turnovers a direct result of both of them.
Well, that's what I was the point I was getting ready to make is 2 turnovers, 12 points here by Greensville. Colonel's trailing.
6:16 left to play. They kick a squib line drive ball that stayed on the ground the whole time, but a flag came out, and I think Greensville County was offside on the kickoff. This will back them up 5 yards. They'll spot it now on the 35 instead of the 40. 6:16 left to play in the Select Air first quarter, and that's an interesting point to note, Oscar, because just half a quarter gone by basically. Colonels have plenty of time to respond, but they do need to get busy, and they got to hold on to the football.
Well, that's right, and I think an answer here is huge. I think they have to answer here just for their morale. Again, the youth, I'd like to see them put a few more people up for this squib kick.
They do line drive it again. It lands on about the 40. Chancellor Mormon's going to field it on the 25. Spin move across the 35, trying to head for the right sideline, but not really going to get there as he's dragged down by a couple of Greensville County defenders. Nice return, though, and again, good field position for Altavista. Just got to hold on to the football. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers early. We mentioned 3 in week 1, 3 in week 2. So they're not on a good pace here in week 3 as far as turnovers are concerned.
No, not 2 possessions, 2 turnovers. That's not a good ratio.
Let's see what the Colonels can do this time. Offensive line getting set. Jacob Adams still in there at quarterback. Looks like they got a receiver uncovered. Greensville County trying to identify it and get it covered. They're going to hand off to Mateo Malbeck. Wide receiver sweep around the left side. He's across the 40. He's got some room. Nice block out front by Walker Allen. Mateo tries to hurdle both Allen and the defender and comes crashing to the turf, but not after a 13-yard pickup and a first down for Altavista.
Yeah, they were short a defender in the corner watching over on this side, and that led to that play developing as well as it did. If they'd have tried to throw the ball in, they had an open receiver, but given the recent events, that was a nice play.
12-0 Colonels trail. Just under 6 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Bunch formation to the right side of the field. That's the wide side of the field for Altavista. Adams wants to throw on first down. Around the 50-yard line, looking deep for Mateo Malbeck. Completed to 15. Malbeck can just waltz it into the end zone. Touchdown, Colonels. A 48-yard pass and catch. Jacob Adams on the rollout to Mateo Malbeck.
35 yards of that was in the air, and that was on a run off his off foot. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a gun.
Jacob Adams looked like a shortstop going in the hole and throwing over to first base, and he did it pretty well there. It was a gun, like Oscar Briggs said, and a nice catch by Mateo Malbeck. Secured it at the 15-yard line, and then really just a clear path into the end zone. 12-6, Colonels trail. Extra point on the way here from Walker Allen. Jacob Adams on to hold. Everybody looks set. Here comes the first pass. It's good. Hold is good. Kick is good. 12-7. Colonels still trail, but they've cut into that lead in a big way. 5:43 left to play in the first quarter on 105.5 KD Country.
This is 100% convenient mobile banking with local First National Bank.
With our First Snap mobile app, you can securely check balances, make deposits, pay bills, transfer money, and much more.
It's easy to use, and we even have a video demo on our website at firstnatbk.com.
And it's free, so search First Snap mobile app and download it for free today.
Remember, banking from anywhere, anytime will help you bring home more bacon.
First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Well, that's a good way to get back in the football game, Oscar Briggs. They get a successful running play with Mateo Malback to start the drive. Then they throw it to him from 48 yards out for a touchdown. Two-play drive. That's vintage Altavista there.
As poor a decision as was made in the previous play that when Jake threw the ball, that play was equally as dazzling on the other end of the spectrum. I guess that's what you got to expect out of a sophomore quarterback.
Well, a young, talented quarterback, too. Make no mistake about it. Jacob Adams is a very, very good football player, very good athlete. He plays basketball. He plays baseball, a lot like his older brother. But, you know, I think we got to stop comparing him to Rick and to Juan Thornhill. I think he's just going to be the first Jacob Adams. You know what I mean?
Well, I think you're right. And I think by the time that all this is said and done, Rick's not going to want to be compared to him because I think Jake might trump him.
Well, Walker Allen has played a pretty good trump card. He booms it about 8 yards deep in the end zone. Line drive kick that time from Walker Allen. And that will start Greensville County on the 20-yard line, their own 20, with 5:43 left to play in the Select Air first quarter. 12-7, Colonels trail. If you joined us late, two early Colonel turnovers led to some Greensville County points. One a pick six, INT touchdown. The other ensuing drive after a fumble in Altavista territory. Colonel's defense looks to be communicating and ready for Greensville to break their huddle. The Greensville County Eagles are missing an 11th player in that huddle. Play clock down to 10. Remember, we do have the play clocks on the field here at Altavista.
Thanks to the Colonel Club again. We appreciate that.
It's down to 3 now. Shaheem Anderson needs to hurry for Greensville County. Does get the snap off, and he wants to throw on first down. Flushed out of the pocket, and now dragged down around the 20-yard line, the line of scrimmage. Good job by the Colonels to swarm on him. Looks like Stephen Farmer there, and also Aaron Close combining for the stop along with Jonathan Montague.
Yeah, Aaron was the first one to get in touch with him, and he played off a block and got his arm out and held on to him until the cavalry could arrive. Stephen Farmer, I talked to his father. He is a little banged up today from an injury from last week.
Colonel's already playing with some injury. Shotgun formation again. 2 receivers to each side. Greensville County had multiple men in motion. Flag comes out. They're going to run the play anyway. This is Naquan Jordan shaking some tacklers loose. Jordan might be gone. If the Colonels saw the flag, they'd be wise to just stop and save their energy. But Nelson Dews is going to run it down at the 5-yard line. Yep, and it's also... Who is the other? Is it Nathan Aiken?
Matt Aiken ran him down.
Excuse me. Nathan Aiken. That's a blast from the
No,
past.
it is,
it's
but
Matt
he's coming
Aiken
back.
that ran him down. Yeah, the flag came out even before the snap, Oscar, but the officials let him play anyway. Like I said, if you see that, you know, hey, I'm just going to save my breath and not try and make the tackle. But boy, as a football player, that's hard to just turn it off.
Well,
and let
it
a guy
is,
go.
and we knew that they had 2 players in motion, but what if?
Right.
The refs don't always get it right. I know that's hard to believe coming out of my mouth, but they don't always get it right. And if you make a mistake like that and don't make the effort, then you could get burned.
Yeah, a great hustle by Nelson Dews, Matt Aiken to run him down. It will go against Greensville County. They had multiple men in motion if you missed all that before the commotion.
Boy, and Aiken is he's gasping for breath right now.
Walking around on the sideline with his helmet off. I think they took Stephen Farmer out for a breather as well. It's 2nd and 15 now for Greensville County. 3 receivers, 1 tight end. Trouble getting the formation set again for Greensville County. Shaheem Anderson looking over his own offense to make sure everybody's ready. They had a guy in motion again, and a flag will come out again.
I think it's delay.
I think it is a delay of game as well. And I think Greensville County wants to take a timeout to restore some order and some organization to their offensive unit. They'll do just that. We'll take the timeout with them. 12-7, Greensville County on top. Altavista's defense looking to get hungry again here with 4:26 left to play in the first on 105.5 KD Country.
heat is here, and so is Select Air. Their trained technicians will respond to any heating and cooling problem with prompt and courteous service. And you can get 10% off any call when you have a service contract with Select Air. Visit selectairmechanical.com. That's selectairmechanical.com to learn more about the team that can handle any home problem, including plumbing, electrical issues, and of course, heating and cooling. Selectairmechanical.com. And they're an authorized trained dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Good atmosphere out here at English Stadium tonight, Mr. Briggs. We had a fun time chatting with some people before the game, sometimes during the game. I know my buddy Greg Doss listening up there in Northern Virginia. Of course, Mr. Doss, a fantastic athlete in his own right, and did a little coaching too, Mr. Briggs. There's a lot of great coaches out there in the world, a lot of great ones on the Altavista sideline. Greensville County ready to run here on 2nd and 15. Throw coming. They're looking down the far sideline. Walker Allen in nice coverage, and the throw is just a little bit long. I think they were looking for Naquan Jordan again. This will bring up 3rd and 15. Yeah, Shaheem Anderson can really flip that football around.
Yeah, he spun it. That ball went 45, 50 yards in the air. Nice coverage by Walker Allen on Peebles. He was with him step for step.
Greensville County must have got that timeout off before that delay of game penalty, Oscar, because they lost 5 yards on the initial illegal procedure, and it's still 3rd and 15. Whistle's coming out again.
Stop the clock, start the clock. Stop the clock, start the clock.
It's a full-time job up here for Jimmy Mundy. Here we go, 2 receivers to each side. Running back is to Shaheem Anderson's right. I think the Colonels jumped offside. It looked like Jacob Adams wanted to blitz, or at least show the blitz, and he might have tiptoed that line of scrimmage and stepped across. Penalty will go against the Altavista Colonels. That'll just make it 3rd and 10. It's not a back-breaking penalty.
No, but it still goes to, you don't want to be making those mistakes when you're trailing 12-7.
Yeah, you like the aggressiveness there in the blitz attempt, but you got to wait and not go over the line of scrimmage. 12-7, Greensville County leads. 3rd and 10 for them. Blitz coming from Altavista. Anderson wants to throw. He's not going to be able to throw. Flushed down into the pocket. He'll pick up a small gain as he tucks it in and runs. Jacob Adams was in on the stop. Also Josh McClure, pardon me. And I believe Matt Aiken was there as well.
It's amazing that Jacob Adams was in on that tackle because he had the coverage in the slot. Jordan was in the slot. He did a little bump when Jordan tried to go by him, and Jordan's got a ton of speed, as we saw earlier, and really spun him around and took him out of the pattern and gave the Colonels time to get to the quarterback.
Mateo Malback back deep to return the punt for Altavista. Greensville County trying to make sure they got enough guys on the punt formation. 4th and 7 here for the Eagles. They do get an 11th man out there. Here comes the snap. It came out really late. Flags come out again. Officials are getting their money's worth here as far as throwing the flags, and it will be an illegal procedure against Greensville County. It'll back them up 5 yards. We'll call it 4th and 12 now, Oscar.
Yeah, the umpire threw that flag about 10 yards. He threw it in right into the middle of the line. And, we saw an instance where that happened a few years ago and a player got hurt from Cleveland. So I thought they'd kind of gotten away from that. So just an observation on my part.
Well, I think it's a good observation by you. I mean, clearly everybody knew what happened. Maybe he can just drop the flag. This snap gets back. Punt is off clean, but it's not a good one. Very high. It will land not even at the original line of scrimmage and roll backwards for an Altavista bounce.
Looked like one of your wedges.
Punt, yeah, absolutely. This punt is going to be a net of about 7 yards, Oscar. That is not a joke. The first down marker was at the 30. Colonels are going to start on the 28. They're in Eagles territory. So, like I said, the punt didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And it wasn't blocked. It was just shank just went straight up, really.
Now, there was pressure. The Colonels were coming, and we've seen them do that on every punt play so far this year is they've gone after the punt.
3:19 left to play in the first quarter. Colonels have the football for a 4th time here in the first quarter. Passing play, they get it to Mateo Malback. Catches at the 20. It was a sort of a high floating lob pass, and Mateo had to catch it and then cover up when the defenders got there. He's close to the first down marker, and he will have enough for a first down, the officials say.
Yeah, he stretched up for that ball, and he knew contact was imminent. That was a nice job by him maintaining concentration and then covering himself and keep from getting hurt because he could have been unloaded on.
Rolling clock here, 1st and 10. Colonels will snap this from from the 17-yard line. Adams is going to keep it, tries to lower the shoulder and blow through a defensive lineman, and he does not win that battle. Shoved back to the 19. Hops up fine, no problem, but it will be a loss of at least 1 for the Colonels on first down.
I don't know. Coach Sharnas talked about us not being able to get film, real good film on them. It looked like they had good film on Colonels on that play.
Yeah, they certainly had that play read and snuffed out. Offensive line looking to the sideline for the play. Coach Sharnas and Coach Cliff Lee helping signal it in. Shotgun formation again from the left hash mark. Colonel's working right to left. It's still the first quarter. We got about 2.5 minutes left in the Select Air first quarter. They put Maul back in motion to the right. They hand it to him on the wide receiver sweep. Turns it up across the 10, across the 5, meets some resistance at the 1 and the 2. Stretch the ball out looking for the end zone. Let's see what the signal is. That football came out as he was stretching it, but I think he was down. I think they're going to mark him down on around the 1.5-yard line. Great second effort by Mateo Maulback. Great blocking out on the edge by, I believe, Chancellor Mormon on the right side.
That's exactly who that was that made that additional block. And, boy, Mateo showing a little bit of second gear there that he hadn't exhibited so far this year.
Yeah, was headed towards the right sideline, then cut it up that seam there for a nice gainer. Mike Sharnas wants to take a timeout to talk some things over. We'll let him do that. We'll take some time ourselves. 2:06 left to play in the first quarter. Colonels trail 12-7 to Greensville County on 105.5 KD Country.
It's a good show, man.
Man, that was awesome.
Loud crowd. Oh, house salad time.
I'll bring it on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're going to have to do the encore tonight, buddy.
No, they want to see your face.
Go chant your name.
Not it, man. They're saying Brett.
Well, I'm taking this with me.
No. I'll hold it for you.
Seriously, don't touch my salad.
Time for my encore now, son.
The house salad. Grilled chicken atop mixed greens, cucumbers, Roma tomatoes, cheddar and jack cheeses, and fried onions. Served with Texas toast. Zaxby's, indescribably good.
Zaxby's, Wards Ferry Road, Lynchburg.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels break the huddle from the timeout. They'll have first and goal from the 2-yard line. Altavista's got Dante Poindexter in as a blocking back. It looks to be Jonathan Montague in at the running back with Jacob Adams. He's set up just to the right of Adams. Dante Poindexter over there on the right side of the offensive line as well. 2 tight ends, 2 receivers. They snap it to Adams. He hands off to Montague. Montague in for the touchdown. He followed a pulling guard there. It looked like Jonathan Montague just stuck it right in behind number 52, Stephen Farmer, was pulling around there for the touchdown. And 63, Trayvon Clark in on the offensive line to help out on the score as well. 13-12, Colonels lead. They'll trot out Walker Allen to try the extra point.
Looks like a little bit of confusion even on the special teams. And
you might be going for it.
They are going
I
for
think
it.
that's part of the confusion. Colonels get it set up. They're short of some football players again. 1 receiver to each side, 1 blocking back, 1 tight end. Running back is Jonathan Montague. They hand it off to him again. Same exact play. Couple pulling linemen. Montague in for 2, and that will help the Colonels out and extend the lead to 15-12. It's a 3-point Colonel lead. Quick timeout here. They'll kick off to Greensville County when you come back on 105.5 KD Country.
The Village Barbershop, an old-school 1960s-style barbershop, offering classic and current cutting techniques for gentlemen and boys. No appointment necessary. Responsible pricing in a clean family environment. Village Barbershop, open Tuesday through Friday, 8 to 6, Saturdays till noon. Stop by and see Danny Barber at Village Barbershop, serving Altavista and surrounding areas from 619 Broad Street. Give them a try.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Well, 2s are wild there on that sequence, Mr. Briggs. It was number 2, Johnny Montague, for a 2-yard touchdown, and then the 2-point conversion. So that's a lot of numbers there that start with 2 in that equation.
Yeah, nice call there. And I like the resiliency from the Colonels. It would have been easy for a young team to kind of tuck their heads, but they did a good job staying focused, didn't panic, down 2 scores off 2 turnovers, and put together a nice drive, and they've responded, leading 15-12 here.
They have responded well, and it's a 3-point cushion right now for the Altavista Colonels. Strange score a little bit. Greensville County has scored 2 touchdowns but failed on both of their extra point attempts, and Altavista 1 extra point, 1 2-point conversion. Another shout out, of course, goes to 2 very good former Colonel football players down there at UVA Wise, Donnie Montague and Michi Malbeck. Both their brothers have been in the end zone tonight for Altavista. Touchback here for Walker Allen on the kickoff. And Greensville County will once again start on their own 20-yard line for this drive. 2:03 left to play in the first quarter, Oscar. This thing is dragging on here. We've had some scores and some turnovers and some timeouts, but, boy, it's getting late early.
Yeah, you gave a shout out earlier, just a minute ago, to Michi and Donnie, and Michi's. They're looking at redshirt and Michi. He's playing on the scout team, and all reports are that he's creating havoc. That the first team defense is complaining a little bit about Michi's exploits and how quick he is and his ability to get into the end zone.
I love it. I love it.
Wow.
Running play here that the Colonels have blown up, and the football is loose in the backfield. I think Greensville County got it back. Dante Poindexter was, I know, one of the men in there for Altavista.
He's the one that sprung the ball loose, Kyle.
Yep, it looks like also Jonathan Montague and Stephen Farmer in there causing some havoc as well. You talk about Michi Malbeck causing havoc for the first team defense. Yeah, nothing will irk you more than when you're a junior or a senior and you've been a starter for a few years and you think you're somebody, and then these young freshmen come in on the scout team and make you look bad. That'll get under your skin real quick, but hey, that's what the scout team's for, right? Passing play here. Stephen Farmer is in the backfield. Anderson still on his feet. He stayed out of the end zone. Jonathan Montague cleaned him up. It was Stephen Farmer that hit him first, and then followed up by, I believe, Matt Aiken, and then Jonathan Montague. Again, that trio of guys has been in on a lot of plays. Greensville County has this ball resting on their own 1-yard line now after the big loss of yardage there.
You said he stayed out of the end zone. No, he didn't. He got back out of the end zone. They had an opportunity to get a safety there, but nice job by him avoiding that. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a quick kick here, just something off the cuff.
It's third and real long, third and a bus ride. They're in the shadow of their own goalpost, and they want to throw from the shotgun. Anderson throws it out complete on the 5-yard line. Receiver slipped down. He had a little bit of room out there. Traquan Farmer was hustling to cover the open space. It's just a short pickup. We'll call it 5 yards, and that will bring up fourth and real long, 4th and 29. And it looks like Greensville County is going to be forced to punt from their own end zone now. Far hash mark here in the waning stages of the Select Air first quarter.
And the punts have not gone well for Greensville County.
No, they haven't. That would be another reason, back to your point, maybe to quick kick on third down.
Yeah, and they've got to punt this quarter because there's 2 seconds difference between the time clock, between the 25-second clock and the game clock.
Yeah, they're looking at another delay game here. They're hustling in personnel. Play clock down to 1 second. I think they got it off. Kick is not a very good one, but they did kick it away from the return man, Mateo Malbeck. He wanted to run up and pick it up at the 25. Claps his hands in disgust there because he just didn't get there in time. Not much Mateo could do, though. Colonels, excellent field position again. They're still in Prince Edward territory here from the 26-yard line. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this. And, boy, you're seeing maybe part of the reason why Greensville County only won 2 games last year, Oscar. They can do some things on offense and defense, but that punting game is not very strong.
No, and that will end the first quarter here, Kyle, with the Colonels leading 15-12.
We'll take a quick timeout. Altavista, they're on top by 3. Second quarter on the way when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
In the market for a new Chevrolet? Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
For a huge selection of new Chevrolets and pre-owned vehicles, it's Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
FellersDirect.com. Selection. Convenience. Fellers Chevrolet.
Fellers Chevrolet.
Always open and only a click away.
FellersDirect.com.
A short drive will save you money. Fellers Chevrolet in Altavista.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Interesting first quarter here from English Stadium in Altavista. The Colonels fell down 2 scores early, 12-0 to Greensville after 2 Altavista turnovers, but they've responded. They lead by 3, 15-12, and they got the football back with great field position. They're on the Greensville 26-yard line, middle of the field. Shotgun formation for Jacob Adams on first down. Running play here as they hand it to Mateo Malbeck in motion. He's around the corner at the 20, forced out of bounds at the 19, stayed on his feet, used the stiff arm nicely to pick up 7 or 8 yards on first down.
Nice job in that little jet sweep. Chancellor Woman out on the edge blocking.
Seems like they're running that jet sweep to Chancellor Mormon's side a lot, just because Chancellor having his way with the Greensville County cornerback out there on the edge.
There's a mismatch here on this right-hand side with Walker Allen and Jordan defending him.
Naquan Jordan stands at 5'4". Walker Allen about 6'2" or 6'3". They faked the jet sweep, busted play. Adams is going to have to try and get what he can out of the botched offensive formation, and he's just going to get tossed down in the backfield by a couple Greensville County defenders. They faked it to Mateo Malback on the jet sweep again. I think it was supposed to go to Jonathan Montague, but somebody wasn't in the right place. And the Colonels will now have a 3rd down and 5 yards to gain.
Nice job by Adams realizing what was happening, wrapped the ball up, and didn't occur any additional damage from that play.
Yeah, and that was a heady, very mature play there by Adams, just to, hey, let me just ride this thing to the turf and hold on to the football here and give ourselves a manageable 3rd down. Offense getting set for that 3rd down. 1 tight end, 3 receivers. 2 of them are to the left. Passing play here. Adams wants to throw left. Oh, incomplete. Mateo Malback had a chance, had his hands on it, just could not reel it in there at the 1st down stick.
He couldn't reel it in because he turned his head. He had his hands on that ball and had pay dirt on his mind, and just turned his head around a little too quick, determining where he was going to go, and he had plenty of room.
Colonels look like they're going for it here on 4th down, Oscar. 11:06 left to play in the half. It's a 15-12 Altavista lead. Jacob Adams looking over the defense, set to take a shotgun snap here on 4th down. Hard count there on the change of snap count for Jacob Adams, and it works to perfection. Everybody on that offensive line clapping in celebration. Offside on Greensville County. The official call. They may have to measure it, or is it going to be a 1st down?
That should be a 1st down if the yard marker, where the ball was spotted, that should be a 1st down.
Yeah, they'll put the ball down, and then they look over there at the sideline. The official going to blow play dead here. I think he wants to bring it out and measure it, or at least back the guys away and take a better look without everybody standing around anyway.
That's a 1st down by a football.
Yep, they are going to bring it out and measure it here with 11:06 left to play in the Select Air 2nd quarter. Remember, Donnie and the gang do repairs and new installations too, and Select Air is an authorized train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. 2nd quarter brought to you by Select Air. The officials are just discussing now. They haven't even brought out the chains yet, so that's sort of interesting.
Well, the tail end of the original line of scrimmage is at about the 26.5-yard line. The ball is on the 16-yard line. Yep. I mean, it's clear, and they've just said it's a 1st down.
Yeah. The head referee brought the side judge over there, and they were just having a conversation. They weren't really looking at the stick or the placement of the ball. They were just having a conversation. I don't know if it was the old, hey, did you hear what Donald Trump said today? Oh,
yeah,
man, wow, that was crazy. Let's call this a 1st down and move on, huh? 11:06, Colonels football with a fresh set of downs here. Adams going to get his offense set again. Tight end is to the right, 2 receivers to the left. Running play here on 1st down. Pulling guard. They give it to Nelson Dews. Dews tried a spin move there at the 12-yard line, and his back just hit the tackler, and he was brought to the turf. Decent pickup, though, on 1st down for Nelson Dews and the Altavista Colonels.
And that's a surge from the offensive line. It didn't look like he gained much yard, but the offensive line got that initial surge, pushed the Greensville team back 4 or 5 yards and before they could make the tackle.
Trey Robinson in the game now for the Altavista Colonels. I think they'll go with 4 wide receivers. Rolling clock here with 10:35 left to play in the Select Air 2nd quarter. It's 2nd and 6 for Altavista. Nelson Dews still in the game at running back to quarterback Jacob Adams right. There is 4 receivers, 2 to each side. Might be a mismatch over there on the left side again. They fake it to Nelson Dews. Adams on the run. He's across the 10, high-stepping into the end zone for a touchdown. Jacob Adams into the end zone for the 6th time on the young season, this time from 12 yards out. Talk about blocking, Oscar. It looked like Kagan Cox might have just bullied a man to the ground over there on the offensive line.
Yeah, it just shut down that whole side of the Greensville team, and that was a nice job. Like you said, that was Kagan Cox and the whole right side of that line. He had a wide open jaunt to the end zone.
He cut around the corner at about the 9-yard line, started high-stepping. It was a needed high step at first, and then as he got to the end zone, it was just for celebratory purposes then. Adams on for the hold for Walker Allen. Pass back, ball down to the block. Kick is a booming shot through the uprights. Make it 22-12. Colonels lead by a full 10 points, 10:18 left to play in the half when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
TCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this award-winning broadcast. TCM Industrial Maintenance and Construction Specialist providing welding, millwright, erection, and fabrication services to all forms of industry throughout the Mid-Atlantic region from offices in Altavista. TCM Industrial Services wishes Coach Chartis and the Altavista football team a safe and successful season. Go Colonels!
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Sophomore Jacob Adams, the quarterback for the Altavista Colonels, having a very good season so far. 6 rushing touchdowns. He's thrown 3 passing touchdowns, maybe 4. Let me double-check my records, Oscar. He's thrown 1 today, a 48-yarder to Mateo Malbeck, and things looking very, very comfortable for the Altavista Colonels right now.
Well put. And again, it would have been easy for Jacob to get rattled after that start with the fumble and then the interception, but stayed poised, and Coach Lee down there in his ear, keeping him pumped up. Coach Stevens doing the same.
Playing pretty good on defense, too. And just to close the loop, Jacob Adams does have 4 passing touchdowns on the season. Mateo Malbeck, 2 TD catches. Walker Allen, Nelson Dews both with 1. Here comes the run-up on the kickoff for Walker Allen. He seems to be feeling better. This one will land right on the goal line. I thought he might have had a foot in the end zone, but the officials are going to let him take it out. Colonel's coverage team not going to get to the return man until about the 21-yard line. I think it was number 23, Jarquez Walton, on the return, or was it 27, Tevin Banks? There you go, on the very nice return for Greensville County. They'll start on the 25-yard line of Altavista with 10:09 left to play in the half.
Yeah, that ball was right on the goal line, and it looked like the receiver had 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I don't know what the rule on that is. Nice play by Chancellor Woolman down on that tackle. We talked about good field position for Greensville County. For the Colonels kickoff, that is good field position.
Yeah.
The 25-yard
right.
line.
5 yards better than normal.
That's right.
Shotgun formation for Greensville. 3 wide receivers to the wide side. That's the left. They're going to snap this from the right hash mark. The Eagles in the home white jerseys, green pants, green helmets. The green helmets have yellow face masks. Delay of game for Greensville County. And that felt a little quick that time. I mean, they had to unpile from the kickoff return. I mean, Greensville County has not been organized on offense. I will say that, but that just felt kind of quick there, didn't it?
No, I was watching to start the clock, the play clock, and they started it, and boy, Greensville's just had an awful time. You know, a lot of high schools. I'll finish that after this play.
Sure. That's what they pay the big bucks for. Anderson wants to throw on first down. Looking down near sideline. Allen on the interception at the 48-yard line. Walker Allen just rose up into the sky, pulled it out of the air like a basketball rebound, and gives the Altavista the football back with 10:02 left to play in the second quarter.
That's better than a punt.
Unfortunately for Greensville County tonight, it has been better than their punt. Their special teams operation, especially punting, hasn't been very good. Walker Allen will give the football to Altavista. They'll say it at the 45-yard line. They're in Altavista territory, but just barely.
I was getting ready to make a point before the interception for that play is that we do have the huge 25-second play clocks here that are very visible in both ends, to the back of both end zones. There's no excuse to have those continued delay of game calls. No excuse.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Greensville County. Going to be a timeout on the field right now. We'll take the timeout with them. 10:02 left to play in the half. 22-12. Colonels lead on 105.5 KD Country.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Virginia are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Brought to you by English Construction Company, with offices in Lynchburg.
Here's more award-winning high school sports with Kyle and Oscar on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels with a 10-point lead over the Eagles from Greensville County. Let's get back to the Eagles for a second, Oscar. They've clearly got some talent. I mean, a great 2-receiver combo in Naquan Jordan and Jordan Peebles. And they've got a guy that can really throw it around and get them the football in Shaheem Anderson. They've just been burned by, as we've both said, some lack of organization at times, not having the right personnel out there, not paying attention to that play clock. And then, of course, the punting game has hampered them as well. It's Altavista's turn with the football again. Adams wants to throw on first down. Plenty of time in the pocket to throw. He heaves it up down the right sideline. Mormon had his hands on it at the 17-yard line, about a foot inside the boundary, but could not pull it in. Incomplete pass.
Yeah, probably should have had that one. Tough catch.
It was a tough catch. I mean, it hung up in the air for a long time. Adams showing off his arm there. It's a 22-12 Altavista lead over Greensville County. Mormon's going to come out for a breather. They shuffle in some new personnel. Play gets signaled in here on 2nd and 10 for the Colonels.
You know, there have been a couple of plays that Altavista's had 2 receivers out on the left side, and there's only been 1 defender for Greensville County, so Colonels need to continue to watch for that.
Shotgun formation with 2 receivers each side. Flag comes out. Let's see who this is against. I think it's against the Altavista Colonels. It is illegal procedure. Somebody moved early up front against the home team Colonels, and this will back them up 5 yards. We'll call it 2nd and 15 now.
I need to go back and make a random point from last week's game. During one of Michi's, here I go again. During one of Mateo's interceptions that he took back for a pick 6, there was we couldn't figure out what happened. It was an inadvertent whistle. So that really cost Mateo an additional touchdown.
Yeah, good point. That there was an inadvertent whistle. That is what happened on that strange play. Out route here for Mateo Malbeck. He catches on the 45. He's hit hard there with a shoulder tackle. He took some exception to that, and that will be a nice 5-yard gain. Flags will come out now because of the talking afterwards. I don't know if this is going against Altavista or not, but just a little bit too much talking after the whistle, I think, for the officials. They let them say 1 or 2 comments, but when you don't drop it, generally that's when the flag comes out. 9:43 left to play in the Select Air second quarter. It's a 22-12 Colonel lead. Officials talking it over and discussing just a little bit. This is where I can see a discussion because they want to say, well, who said what, when, and what did you hear, and what did you hear? Should we call offsetting? What should we do? And that's what they're talking about right now.
Both captains have tried to sneak up and catch what's going on, and they've both been shooed back. Walker Allen sneaking up on the group now.
As it stands, it's a 4.5-yard pickup on the pass play from Jacob Adams connecting with Mateo Malbeck.
Unsportsmanlike against the Colonels, unsportsmanlike against Greensville.
Yep.
And, hey, we talked about I said Michi Malbeck, and lo and behold, who's walking up the steps?
He's here.
Michi Malbeck. He's in the house.
Now. Yep. That's a long drive up from the mountains of Southwest Virginia down there at Wise, but
yes.
Very, very excited to see Michi. I know he's got a lot of people in the stands that are excited to see him. I'm sure it's interesting for him taking in a ball game from this perspective. He's used to being on the field or at the very least on the sideline, and it's always strange when you come back to your alma mater and watch a game from the stands. Interesting experience. Again, 3rd and 11 here for Altavista. Adams takes the snap near hash mark. Looking to throw. Got some time initially. Then he's hit. Football came out. Incomplete pass, they'll call it. Jacob had some time, but then finally a defensive end came around from that backside, put some pressure on him, hit him from the blind side.
Nice job by Jonathan Montague of standing back, trying to protect Adams from the blind side, but he was a little bit too close to Jake to be able to keep the defender from getting his hands on him.
Yeah, I was about to say Adams is probably fortunate he walked away from that relatively unscathed, but then I saw another Colonel. It looked like number 53, Terrell Robinson, kind of hobbling around there after the play. He doesn't look to be in good shape. It's actually 63, Trayvon Clark. Terrell is 53, Trayvon is 63. They both play on the offensive line, so sometimes that can get confusing. Greensville County will decline the holding penalty. It'll bring up 4th and 11. Colonels will have to punt for the first time this game. Guess they don't have to punt, but they're going to be lining up in a punt formation anyway, Oscar.
No, first thing you got to do is watch for the hard count. That'll put them 5 yards closer. And you got momentum now. I think the way the defense is playing, I think you do punt it away here.
Return man for Greensville County stands on about the 24-yard line. Walker Allen has his heels on the 31. Good snap, plenty of time to kick, and look at this booming kick. This is going to land or inside the 5. Return man has to cover up on the 2 because he muffed it. Traquan Farmer was down there in a hurry, putting some heat on the return guy. What a kick by Walker Allen. It pins Greensville County on the 2-yard line.
53-yard punt from Walker Allen.
And that was booming. I mean, you could hear that. That sounded like a college or a pro guy kicking, just the sound of Walker's foot hitting that football.
That's not one of the typical 53-yard high school punts that it goes 25 yards in the air and has overspin on it, ladies and gentlemen. That ball hung and turned over 53 yards in the air. Boy, and we talked about, whether you go for it or not. Boy, that flipped the field. That's got them pinned back deep.
Oh, yeah. Altavista's defense going to be on their toes and ready to attack here on 1st and 10 from the 2-yard line. Greensville County going to go under center for the first time in the game. They go with a hard count themselves, and I think they've caused Altavista's defense to jump. Good job by the Eagles to take advantage of the aggressiveness of Altavista there. That's good play calling, too, by head coach Mario Walton. I mean, they're going to be coming after you here in the shadow of your own goalpost. You go with a different snap count. Pretty smart right there. 1st and 5 now. 1 lone setback, 2 tight ends, 2 receivers. They'll hand it to the running back. He is bounced down around the 6-yard line. Might have picked up 1. Got punished for his troubles there, deciding to go up the middle. It looked like number 15, Jarice Arrington, on the carry.
It was Arrington, and he did try a little jump move over a downed lineman, and Jonathan Montague met him middle air and just slammed him to the ground.
Montague playing a very good linebacker so far this year for the Altavista Colonels. They say no gain. We'll call it 2nd and 5. 8:50 left to play here in the first half.
And if you're Greensville, you got to try the hard count again, either now or if they don't get it on the 3rd down anyway.
Sure. Shotgun formation this time. They throw out to the right. Incomplete. Pass was high. I think he was looking for Naquan Jordan again over there on the right side.
He was looking for Dante Poindexter, who got to him and had his arms around his waist when he released that ball, too. Dante was untouched getting back to him. Brings up 3rd and 5, Kyle.
Poindexter spends as much time in the other team's backfield as anywhere else. 8:38 left to play here in the Select Air second quarter. 22-12. Colonels lead by 10. It's been 22 unanswered. It was a 12-point Greensville County lead at one point in this game, folks. About 6 minutes through the first quarter, Greensville County had a 6-point lead, or 12-point lead, pardon me. 3rd down play, passing play. Shaheem Anderson to throw another line drive pass over there in the right flat, or excuse me, the area in between the hash marks and the numbers. That looked to be complete, and I think it's enough for a 1st down, Oscar.
Yeah, they're going to call it a 1st down. And it was.
Man, Shaheem Anderson, when he draws that football back and fires it, it really is a fastball. He throws one of the hardest balls that we've seen in a long time. He's going to pass again on 1st down. This time a little bit longer down the middle seam, incomplete. He was looking for the tall receiver, Jordan Peebles, and he just overshot him on the route.
Colonels are doing a good job making contact with Peebles and not letting him get off the line clean and get that head of speed, head of steam going downfield. They need to get the ball out of the middle of the field.
I would agree with you. Peebles had some catches early. So did Naquan Jordan, but I think they're pressing a little bit more. They're roughing the receivers up as they come across the line of scrimmage. I think it's definitely been a nice adjustment from defensive coordinator Mike Revis. 2nd and 10, far hash mark from the 12-yard line. Greensville County wants to throw again. Straight drop back. Anderson flushed out of the pocket. Now he's going to run up the right seam, left hash mark. He's dragged down around the 17-yard line. Good hard running there. And a decent pickup when he got flushed out of the pocket.
Traquan Farmer in that open field tackle again. Nice job. Again, that's about the 4th open field tackle he's had tonight.
Colonels get some fresh personnel in the game here on 3rd and 5. Ethan Young checking in the ball game along with number 53, Terrell Robinson. They're on the defensive line for Altavista along with Josh McClure over there at the left defensive end spot. Shotgun formation for Shaheem Anderson and the Greensville County Eagles. He's trying to catch his breath here. Takes a shotgun snap. Passing play again. Throwing right. Complete to Naquan Jordan. Jordan cuts it back inside up the right hash mark. He's got enough for a 1st down. Look at the Greensville County offense operating well now under pressure, Oscar.
Yeah, they were pinned back at their own 2-yard line. That looks like it's a 2nd consecutive 1st down. Looks like they may call. There's a player down.
Let's take the timeout as well. Quick 30-second break here. Colonels lead by 10. 7.5 minutes left to play in the half on 105.5 KD Country.
Some people have never tried food at a Mexican restaurant. So we asked Chad Shelton from Shelton's Plumbing and Heating about his experience.
I wasn't so sure what the green stuff was, but they slipped some on my plate one day, and now I won't have a meal without guacamole. Still can't spell it.
At El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, if you have questions, they give you the answers in English. Mexican and American foods, affordable prices, and fast service. Try it today, El Cazador, Main Street, Altavista.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
22-12, Colonels lead at home in Altavista. Darkness has fallen on English Stadium. Again, it's a very, very nice Friday night. Good evening to take in some football or maybe some rock and roll music. Hey, Oscar, KD Country is going to be at the North Halifax Volunteer Fire Department tomorrow for their annual fundraising marathon. We always have a good time broadcasting live there. I'll take the morning shift. Dave Haney's going to come in for the afternoon shift, and it's a great fundraiser. A lot of great bands there, and plenty of things to see and do at the North Halifax Volunteer Fundraising Marathon.
KD Country's been covering that for some time now, and I know that it's always a good time. You guys have a great time when you go out and do that remote broadcast, and I know the North Halifax Fire Department appreciates it as well.
Yeah, it's a fun day. It's a lot of people. You see a lot of old friends. You make some new friends. Timeout still on the field right now because of injury. That's why Oscar and I are talking a little bit. And speaking of things to talk about, the Altavista boys basketball team still working on their annual fundraiser. They got a lot of great prizes in that thing. You can win some cash. You can win a flat screen TV. And each raffle ticket that you buy is a buy one, get one free coupon as well at Subway of Altavista. Of course, you listen to these broadcasts, you know about Subway. 3 great locations you can redeem that at. Main Street, also Main Street in Altavista, pardon me. Also Walmart on the Clarion Road in Altavista, and then Foster Fuels on Route 29 in Rustburg. And speaking of Rustburg, that's where we will be next Friday night as the Colonels head back to face the Red Devils. Red Devils and Raiders from Appomattox had a very close ball game last week that Oscar and I were keeping an eye on. So football very much in full swing, and we are very much excited about it. Glad you have decided to join our award-winning broadcast. Fans clapping now because I think they've got the Greensville County player to his feet. Big crowd around him. It was number 3, Jordan Peebles. It was not number 3, Jordan Peebles. It was number 2, Naquan Jordan, the other dynamic and electric player for Greensville County. He was the one that had the 52-yard pick 6 earlier to put Greensville County up 12-0. Again, if you just joined us, it hasn't been all Colonels. It was all Greensville County for the first 6 minutes of this game. They led 12-0. Then the Colonels' offense and defense really started rising to the occasion. 22 unanswered points. That's where we stand right now with 7.5 minutes left to play in the half.
And Greensville can ill afford to lose Jordan. Don't want to speculate on the extent of the injury, but they certainly can't afford to lose his athleticism and speed. He's been a workhorse tonight for Greensville.
I would agree with that. Brookville is up 28-0 at half over Gretna, so there's a couple other local teams to keep an eye on. 1st and 10 for Greensville County, far hash mark, 22-yard line. Anderson wanted to throw. Now he's flushed out of the pocket, trying to go in between the right side numbers and right sideline. Dives forward for about an 8-yard pickup. Anderson hasn't had as much time to pass lately, certainly not as much as he had in the first quarter.
That was a design play for him to run that ball, and it worked really, really well. He waited until that right side of that offensive line could get him a pocket, and he took off. Nice job.
Another savvy play call there from Greensville County. Anderson wants to throw this time. Flushed out of the pocket, dances around, reverses direction. Still on his feet across the 25. He's going to pull it down and run now across the 30, across the 40. Spin moves at the 35, now across the 50. Spin move came at the 45, pardon me. He's across the 50 all the way to the other 45. First down on a big play right there from Shaheem Anderson. That started out as a true pass play. Rolled to his right, cut back to his left, stepped up in the pocket, stepped back again, and then finally broke out to the left side for the long gain.
Boy, Josh McClure really frustrated with himself. He had his hands on the quarterback and couldn't bring him down.
I like watching this Shaheem Anderson. He wants to throw on first down, complete over there on the right side to, looks like Tyquan Jones. Jones will race it ahead for a 5-yard pickup as he is thrown down to the ground by Chancellor Mormon. Excuse me, I believe that was Andres Diaz-Escuro over there on the tackle.
I'll make a comment after this play.
Yeah, Greensville County's picking up the tempo and going fast. Altavista doesn't even have their physical training staff off the field yet. Anderson wants to throw. Far sideline, incomplete. Overshot his man by a full 5 yards. Go ahead, Oscar.
As disorganized as they looked for that middle part of the first quarter back into the middle of the second quarter, this drive's very impressive. They look sharp. They're making good decisions. They're organized. They're going quickly. Boy, it makes you wonder how a team can look so different in such a short time span. Of course, the Colonels have looked different.
Yeah, good point. Good point on all accords there, really. I mean, they look like a new ball club. 3rd and 6, though. They're going to need a big pickup here. Anderson's going to run off left tackle. Makes one man miss. He's got the first down across the 30. Now falls forward around the 26-yard line. Design running play there off left tackle. Anderson dodged the first tackler with a little sidestep bullfighter Olay type of move, and then he raced ahead for another nice gain.
And they're set. They're ready to snap this ball.
I know they're moving quickly. They're moving so quickly that Coach Mike Revis, the defensive coordinator from Altavista, wants to take a timeout to discuss it. We'll take a timeout to catch our breath. Colonels lead by 10 here with just under 6 minutes to play in the half, but Greensville County on the move when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
GMC. Come on in. Bring the family. See your friends at Highview Motors. Highview Motors. GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors. GMC.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Just under 6 minutes to play here in this Select Air second quarter. Greensville County has gotten their act together and then some. This drive started on the 2-yard line, Oscar. It looked like the Colonels' defense was licking their chops for a safety. And meanwhile, Greensville County continues to force this ball down the field. Anderson design running play again. Diaz-Escura hit him in the hip and dropped him around the 2-yard line. Or, excuse me, the 22-yard line, I beg your pardon.
Gain of 6 on that play, almost 7. And you got to wonder if the Colonels got a little bit complacent, and now they're paying for it.
Maybe so. 2 receivers each side again. Passing play. Anderson straight drop back. Now he'll roll to the right. Pass tipped away. Incomplete. Good defense. I believe that was Chancellor Mormon that got a left hand on that football to knock it away. It'll bring up 3rd and 4 for Greensville County. They're in Altavista territory on the 23-yard line.
And this is a go situation. This is 2-down territory for them, trailing 22-12, 5:34 here remaining in the second quarter.
Straight drop back again on 3rd down. Anderson wants to throw. Sidesteps the first rush. Couldn't sidestep the second rush. He is dropped and hit hard. Looked like Diaz-Escura and then Poindexter behind him on the stop for Altavista.
It might have been McClure in on the initial contact that flushed him out of the pocket and really made him come back for the cleanup.
I think you're right. I think McClure was the guy that Anderson dodged first, but that slowed him down enough. Here we go, 4th and 12. Big play coming right here. Anderson wants to throw again. Drops back, shuffles the feet. Now he takes off to his right. Going to try and get the first down with a run, and they're going to get it with a penalty. Somebody got a hold of Shaheem Anderson's face mask. He got stopped a full 9 yards short of the number to gain, but they're going to get it because of the face mask, I think, Oscar.
Yeah, you could see the head snap back from here. They're debating now as to which penalty it is.
Right. 4:57 left to play here in the half. Make sure you join us for the Subway halftime show and then the 3rd and 4th quarters here. 22-12, the Altavista Colonels lead by 10. Officials are discussing it, talking it over. They just got it spot. Well,
yeah, they just made the signal, Kyle, and it looked like he did the personal foul face mask. So this is going to be the 15-yard variety or half the distance to the goal.
Yeah, we'll see where it ends up. Let's take our time here. It may end up being a 1st and goal situation for Greensville County, the way they're marching it down. No, it's not going to be 1st and goal. It's going to be 1st and 10 from, we'll say, the 12-yard line. So Greensville County can get a first down without getting a touchdown. They are deep in Altavista territory. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side, 1 running back. Design running play. Anderson going off left tackle. Runs through the first tackler all the way inside the 10. Football might have come out there at the end of the play. Football did come out, and I believe it was recovered by lineman number 70, Luke Evans for Greensville.
They're going to still say he was down.
Okay.
They got down to the 8-yard line, gain of about 7, Kyle.
Yeah, they actually lost yards by saying that he was down there on the 7-yard line. They would have been inside the 5, but interesting play there either way. Greensville County huddles up around the 15-yard line. Now they break it, and they're set to run here. 2 receivers to each side again. Running back is to Shaheem Anderson's left. Altavista coming on defense. Now they drop some guys in coverage. Passing play, complete on about the 5, then fumbled into the end zone. I think the Colonels have picked it up, and it's going to be a touchback. Yes, it is. The Altavista Colonels pick up a fumble, and it'll be a touchback on the 20-yard line because they recovered it and downed it in the end zone.
The coach is down in the end zone, out on the field at the 5-yard line, arguing the call. He's saying that he crossed the plane, that it was a touchdown.
Wow. Well, it's certainly one that you would look at and review in college or professional football. We don't have that luxury here. It was close. I mean, that football looked like it came out right around the 1-yard line or the goal line, Oscar.
Well, and yeah, you got different officiating crews. Last week, Coach Sharnis got a sideline warning because he was 2 yards over the sideline coach's box. Here's a coach out at the 5-yard line and nothing, not even a warning.
I think they were looking for number 1, Tyquan Jones. I think he was the one that caught it and fumbled it away. Altavista Colonels on offense, middle of the field, 20-yard line of Greensville County. Here's a shotgun snap. They fake the run and keep it. Jacob Adams on the keeper, sifting his way through the defense, now charging ahead across the 30, finally falls down around the 33-yard line, had a couple Eagle defenders draped on his back when he did.
A couple of things. You got to wonder why Greensville didn't go to Shaheem Anderson prior. It was just this drive when he started running the ball, and boy, he was effective. And on that play, it looked like Jacob Adams said, "Oh well, Shaheem, you can run the ball. Look what I got."
Jacob Adams doing a nice job carrying the football for Altavista. 1st and 10, middle of the field again. They hand it off to Jonathan Montague. Montague's going nowhere. Greensville defensive line really blew through nicely and stopped that play in the backfield. They're actually going to give Johnny a 1-yard pickup. That might even be generous.
Yeah, that is generous. I totally agree with you, Kyle.
3.5 minutes left to play in the Select Air second quarter. Altavista up by 10 and driving. 2nd and 9.5. They moved it back about a half a yard or maybe even more than that. Adams looks over the offense and the defense. 3 receivers, blitz coming from Greensville County. Adams sidesteps the first man, can't sidestep the second. He is pushed backwards, and the play is finally blown dead as Adams' forward progress was stopped around the 30-yard line. Loss of 5 for the Colonels.
That's favorable, too, for the Colonels. Brings up 3rd and call it 14, Kyle. Colonels need to be patient here. After Walker Allen's last punt, they don't need to get greedy.
Sure.
Leading 22-12. After trailing 12-0, I think if you can go to the house here, leading 22-12, you'll take it.
Excellent point there about Walker Allen. You know you got a great punter, so you don't really have to force things here, especially when you're up 10. 3rd and 15. Adams with the hard count. Looked like it worked, but Altavista may have jumped offside as well. Let's see who the penalty is on. Officials will get together and discuss this, too, and say what happened, who came over first.
Usually when there's a discussion, it goes against the offense.
Sure, yeah, usually when both teams move, it's like tie goes to the defense kind of thing. 2.5 minutes left to play in the Select Air second quarter. 22-12, the Altavista Colonel lead. Thank you for joining us here on 105.5 FM, or perhaps you're listening at kdcountry.com, maybe with the TuneIn app. All of them are great options. They're going to back it up and call the penalty against Altavista. That'll make it 3rd and 20. And you got to be careful here because Greensville County actually has a bit of momentum, Oscar. I mean, they look a lot better. I don't know what switch they flipped or what the conversation was in the huddle. They've been playing a lot better these last 5 or 6 minutes. 3rd and 20. Adams has a bunch formation to the left. That's the wide side of the field. He wants to roll that way. Now he's going to cut back and try and avoid the rush. He can't. He is dropped inside the 15, maybe closer to the 10. This is a big loss for Jacob Adams and the Altavista Colonels. And now they are going to be forced to punt.
Now, Greensville, that you made a great point, is they last drive they started at the 2-yard line, got all the way down to the 3 or 4 yard line, and looked like they had punched it in. And the fumble as he stretched to try to get in, turn the ball over to the Colonels, and that had to be a heartbreaker. But they've responded well here on the defensive side of the ball. Momentum, I think, is clearly on their side.
Yeah, nice defensive stop there, and they got a couple big losses. Allen's going to punt this ball away. He's standing on his own 5-yard line. Return man looks to be Naquan Jordan, maybe back in the game. I'm trying to get a good look at the return man's number, who stands on the 50. Snap made Walker move a little bit, but he got a nice kickoff again. It'll land on the 49-yard line and take an Altavista bounce. Another super kick right here. Downed finally on the 34-yard line of Greensville County. So Walker Allen has flipped the field again, punting out of the shadow of his own goalpost. He gets it into Greensville County territory.
48-yard punt on the back of a 53-yard. That one actually flew about 35 to 40 in the air before it rolled out that final 8 yards. But once again, Colonel coverage was down, and he didn't have an opportunity to return. Nice job by the Colonels and Walker Allen. 1:21 remaining here in the second quarter. If the Colonels can keep Greensville from getting to the end zone, it'll be a nice momentum stopper.
Walker Allen, a very dangerous weapon. It's not many teams that can call their punter/kicker a weapon, but he truly is that. Passing play on first down. Out route complete over there to Jordan Peoples on the left sideline around the 50-yard line. Shaheem Anderson with another nice throw. He had enough time to throw, and Jordan Peoples ran a very good, about a 15-yard out route there.
And Colonel's playing soft. Nelson trying to prevent the big gain. Greensville did a nice job of taking what was given to him, that little underpass, and picked up 15.
1:14 left to play in the half. Passing play again. They're going to throw a screen pass over there on the right side. It's complete. Looks like to number 10, Diamond Turner. Turner flushed out of bounds over there on the right sideline, inside the 45-yard line. We'll call it the 44-yard line. Decent pickup, though, on first down. Works a lot like a running play, that quick screen play. Greensville County has a man down again. This time it's a lineman.
Luke Evans.
Yeah, it's number 70, Luke Evans. You're right.
He needed help getting up. He got up. He took about 3 steps and went back down to the ground. Angela Emerson all over this.
She's been too busy tonight, at least for our taste. Let's take a timeout here with 53 seconds left to play in the half. It's a 10-point Colonel lead, but Greensville County has the football and a chance to score before the halftime break on 105.5 KD Country.
Stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, on the ready to keep you comfortable year-round. Locally owned and operated, just a call away, with over 20 years experience. Licensed and bonded. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, specializing in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical, any season, anytime. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Give them a call today. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, Gretna.
Prompt, confidential, professional. A-Town Bail Bonds, 434-401-0253. Local, reliable, available 24/7. A-Town Bail Bonds, 434-401-0253. When a friend or family member is arrested and jailed, call a professional. Call Chip Rourke and A-Town Bail Bonds, 434-401-0253. Get answers, get help. A-Town Bail Bonds, 434-401-0253.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Less than 1 minute to play here in the first half from English Stadium in Altavista. I'm Kyle Haney. He is Agent Zero, Oscar Briggs. We know you're listening in Central Virginia and around the world thanks to the miracle of technology and, of course, our online broadcast at kdcountry.com, brought to you by Chad Rakos, your Allstate agent in Windhurst. Give Chad a call today. Let him give you a quote. You don't need to be local to get a quote from Chad. He'll help you out and probably save you some money, too. Colonels have saved up some good stuff for this ball game here. They haven't played great at times. At other times they have. We could probably make the same case about Greensville County, Oscar. They've had some flashes of brilliance, then some other moments where you kind of wonder what's going on. Right now, the Colonels have a 10-point lead, and it's been an interesting first half.
Well, it has. There's a lot of ebbs and flows and momentum changes, and both teams have looked extremely efficient at times and then very inexperienced and young at times, especially on the Colonel side.
Yeah, Colonels have showed their youth. They fumbled the football away early in the football game. Then they threw an interception. Both of those led to points for Greensville County. Greensville County got the pick six on the interception for a touchdown. They scored about 5 plays after the fumble recovery. That's how they got their 12 points. Colonels have responded with 22 unanswered, but Greensville County has 53 seconds to answer here in the late stages of the first half.
Colonel, I mean, the Eagles have really dominated the second part of this second quarter.
They have. Short pass over there to the right side. I don't know if it was a design screen or maybe a flea flicker, double pass type of play. Either way, it didn't work. It's a loss of 10 yards there for Greensville County on the completion.
Yeah, the Colonels diagnosed that. They snipped that out and blew that up.
Greensville takes the timeout. Let's take it with them. 22-12, Altavista on top. 43 seconds left to play in the first half on 105.5 KD Country.
Apple Auto Glass is your windshield repair and replacement center in Lynchburg. You get a free car wash with all windshields replaced in the shop. Apple Auto Glass wants the fans to enjoy the boys of fall this high school football season.
When I feel that chill, smell that fresh cut grass, I'm back in my helmet, cleats, and shoulder pad. Kings of the school, man, where the boys of fall.
Apple Auto Glass salutes the boys of fall.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Greensville County ready to scrimmage again here on 3rd and 13. 43.9 seconds left. They are out of timeouts. We got some scores coming up for you here at the Subway halftime show. Some of them more interesting than others. Bunch formation to the right. They're on the right hash mark. Greensville County, that is. Altavista showing blitz. Now they drop off, just rushing 3. Shaheem Anderson, plenty of time to throw. He'll take it down and run anyways across the 50, the 45, still on his feet, throws him on one man aside. Now he is just bulldozing his way to the first down marker. That is a heck of a run there on 3rd down by Shaheem Anderson.
Shaheem Anderson's a horse.
Man, you're right. I mean, he is a joy to watch. He can throw the football. He can run the football. He's got speed. I think they're going to line up and spike this ball. I'm not sure, though. 30 seconds left in the half. 1st and 10. Bunch formation to the right. No, Anderson's just going to drop back and throw on 1st down. Flushed out of the pocket to his left. He'll tuck it down and try and run. Chased out of one tackle, and he fumbled it away. Do the Colonels have the football?
Yes, they do.
Still waiting for a signal.
Stephen Farmer came up with it, but they're going to say he was down.
Oh, boy. Stephen Farmer did have his hands on it. He throws his hands up in the air as if to say, what do I got to do here? Get a fumble recovery. Clock's still running here. We're down under 10 seconds.
I'd like to see that on instant replay.
Probably going to be the Eagles' last play of the half. They snap it with 5 seconds. Anderson wants to throw, and he's looking towards the end zone. Heaves it long down the right sideline, but intercepted by Walker Allen. Allen falls to the deck around the 2. There is no time left on the clock, so the Colonels won't get to run a play. We have reached halftime after a very, very interesting first half. Colonels lead by 10. Join us for the Subway halftime show on 105.5 KD Country.
Bank with the local team. Bank of the James on Main Street in Altavista. Stop by our office today to talk with Bobby Walker and his team of local bankers to learn about local banking with Bank of the James. We offer a full line of personal and business banking products and services, including online banking and bill pay, personal and commercial loans and lines of credit, and mortgage loans. Bank with the local team. Bank of the James. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
English is so much more. English is more than a hardware store. English is.
Are you planning a painting project this fall? English's is now your authorized dealer for Valspar paint. Valspar, well known for its quality and color selection. Stop by English's in Altavista. Let their paint department help you make your next painting project a success.
English's is your complete home center.
This broadcast is brought to you by the members of the KD Country Sports Club.
Chef's Drive-In, keeping drive-ins alive with hometown pride and service.
One Stop Mart, where the gas is cheap, the beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
El Cerrito in Altavista. Throw on a sombrero, shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time.
Altavista Medical and Oncology Massage Therapy. Broad Street can help you relieve your pain.
Vista Foods Altavista, your hometown grocery with freshest produce and best meats.
McDonald's and Altavista, committed to the community and bringing the world's favorite food.
Colonel's Football, brought to you by the Sports Club on KD Country.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
The Subway halftime show has arrived. It finds the Altavista Colonels with a 10-point lead, 22-12. In a very interesting first half, as I mentioned when we went to break, folks. Greensville County went up 12-0 to start off of a couple Colonel turnovers. Altavista, they've responded nicely. Jacob Adams has thrown a touchdown pass to Mateo Malbach. He has a touchdown run, and the Colonels got a 2-point conversion in there as well from Jonathan Montague to go along with the Jonathan Montague touchdown run. Oscar Briggs rejoins me. He wanted to go out and check out the crowd there at English Stadium. It is a good crowd. We've got the Lynch Station Lizards. Some of the youth teams are here in uniform. They're honoring them right now. That's always fun to see. You get the small guys and the young guys out there playing with their jerseys, and they're in full swing now too, I think, right, Mr. Briggs? They play their games on Saturday.
They do, and it's been, you've got to credit them for some of the resurgence of the Colonels program as well. That feeder program run by Donnie and Ellen Vaden has done tremendous work getting football as a factor back here in the Colonel town.
Yeah, we mentioned that a lot in the past couple of years with the Colonels back-to-back state championships, how important the Lizards have been. And it was important in the 09 year, but that was really when the Lizards were just back getting started again. Those guys that were seniors last year and seniors even the year before that, they're the ones that really have been in the Lizards program for a long time. And it is a tip of the cap to the Vadens, as you said, for their support and the work that they've done, and a lot of other folks as well. It's not just a one-man show over there, much like everything. Not a one-man show here on the Subway halftime show. We'll step aside for a quick timeout. We'll bring it back, tell you a little bit more about the first half, maybe some things to watch for in the second half, and then we'll be ready for the start of it before you know it. It's the Subway halftime show, 22-12. Colonels on top over Greensville County on 105.5 KD Country.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
Heat is here, and so is Select Air. Their trained technicians will respond to any heating and cooling problem with prompt and courteous service. And you can get 10% off any call when you have a service contract with Select Air. Visit selectairmechanical.com. That's selectairmechanical.com to learn more about the team that can handle any home problem, including plumbing, electrical issues, and of course, heating and cooling. Selectairmechanical.com. And they're an authorized trained dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
Hello, this is Jerry Miley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. Asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
If credit card processing is important to your business, I can help. I'm Ramonda Davis of First National Bank, and I'm your local e-commerce officer for merchant card and other electronic business products. Local means I live in Central Virginia. I'm ready to come see you and respond quickly to what you need. Local means I'm focused just on your business needs. For the latest in electronic payment technology and competitive pricing, contact me, Ramonda Davis. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Subway halftime show returns here. Colonels with the 10-point lead. I mentioned, did I mention about the Reuben being back, Oscar? Did I mention that I got it again? This time I went with the corned beef Reuben. I went with the turkey Reuben last time. Very good. Customer service, top-notch. Tell the folks which direction you went for your Subway pregame meal.
Turkey Italiano.
Oh, yeah, because that's original. See, folks, Oscar used to get on me about getting the same thing. I used to get the egg white or the flat teas. I've gone through phases. I definitely go through phases. I'm guilty of that. You know who else guilty of that? Bob Alvis. And Bob, I know, listening right now. Shout out to him. And, of course, you can see Bob on WSET for the Football Friday show. Bob has a nice role in that show this year. Well, he's always had a role, but an increased role, let's call it that. Bob's having a fun time with it. He likes to throw out stats and tidbits. Here's a stat from an area game from folks, or from someone that Altavista folks probably remember. Navy Jones, 4 touchdowns in the first half against Magna Vista. And that's a defending state champion Magna Vista team, 3A defending state champs in Magna Vista, and they've got a lot of guys back. So for Mr. Navy Jones to just pretty much go off in one half, that's impressive.
Well, you talk about going off in one half, and don't want to elaborate on it too much, but 2.5 games, he's got 12 touchdowns. Yeah. That's just sick.
Yeah, I mentioned to Bob Alvis that another guy Colonels fans might remember, should remember, former UVA star, former William Campbell star Cedric Pierman had 50 one year. I believe that record's been eclipsed. I think somebody got 51. I'll go back and check that, or maybe Bob will, and we can fill in the loop. But it seems like maybe Navy Jones is going after that half-a-century mark in touchdowns. I mean, he's got 12 in 2.5 games. That's impressive. Let's get back to our game on the field right now. Colonels, or did you have one final thought about
one final thing? Of course, Navy was an integral part of that state championship team that the Colonels had in 2013. Yep.
Yeah, very much so. And the same way with the basketball state championships, at least the first 2 basketball state championships. We wish Navy well. We always keep an eye on them. We always like to keep an eye on the whole area, but particularly former players and that sort of thing. Like I said, let's shift the focus back on the gridiron here at Altavista High School. Colonels have looked pretty impressive at times, have looked a little sloppy at times, and maybe that's indicative of a young ball club. Maybe we should expect that a little bit more. There's going to be flashes where they look great, and then other flashes where they don't look so great.
No, we talked about the youth and experience, and we knew that was going to be a factor, and we talked to Coach Sharness about it earlier today off record, and he's got a ton of patience. So these kids are very coachable. I thought they had an opportunity. They went down early 12-0. They had an opportunity to really tuck their tails between their legs and duck their heads, but they didn't. They stayed up and responded well, took momentum back. At that point, when they went up 22-12 with the 22 unanswered points, I thought that maybe they got a little complacent and said, well, we stepped on the gas, did what we needed to do, and got the lead. We've got this. And, Greensville came back and had 2 impressive drives here at the end of the half, came away with no points off either one. So you've got to watch. The Colonels do get the ball first in the second half, so hopefully they can have a little drive and get some more points on the board and start to put Greensville County away.
Bob Alvis has closed the loop, folks, about the touchdown record. According to the VHSL record book, Takeem Hedgeman of Monticello has 51 touchdowns. He did that back in 2007. So thank you, Bob, for that tidbit. And, boy, heck of a year there by Hedgeman. Still can't take anything away from Mr. Cedric Pierman. I got to watch a couple of those games that year, and he was just a monster. Colonels have some monsters of their own. And back to the youth of this team very quickly before we take one final time out on the Subway halftime show. Oscar, 7 seniors on this Colonel football team this year. They all play a pretty important role on this team, those 7 seniors. They're the guys that are being counted on for some leadership. The other side of that coin is it's not a ton of seniors to have on a football team, really. I mean, the Colonels have had less. I remember, I think it was 2012, they had like 2 seniors. That was back when they had Will Martin. Will Martin, of course, playing football for Averitt University right now, but got off on a bit of a tangent there. Go ahead with what you were going to say about this ball club.
When you look at who the seniors are, you talk about Coleman Teagarden, Dante Poindexter, Andres Diaz-Escura, Nelson.
He was a first-year guy, so almost doesn't count. But yeah,
that offensive line, defensive line has got a ton of experience on it. Now, you got a good mix too, because not only that, but you got Ethan Young, who's getting some time. Trayvon Clark's a junior. Stephen Farmer's a junior. So even after these seniors graduated, again, it doesn't leave the cupboard bare again. The Colonels continue to cycle players through, and just, it becomes not a rebuild situation where you're starting from scratch. And that's just invaluable.
Yeah, the great teams don't rebuild, they reload, and that's what the Colonels have seemed to have done year after year. And Hopefully next year will be the same. We got a lot of football left this year. We got a lot of football left tonight. Let's take one more time out on the Subway halftime show. Third quarter will be underway before you know it. Colonels 22, Greensville County 12. You're hearing it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
Start your business on the winning drive with an Altavista revolving loan. It's an opportunity to score big for your company's future growth. Funds available up to $10,000. Loan rate 1% below prime. Huddle up with Altavista Economic Development Director Dennis Jarvis II at Altavista Town Hall. Make your move today. The Altavista Revolving Loan Fund encourages economic development and enhances community vitality.
The morning of September 11, 2001, 19 terrorists hijacked 4 commercial airplanes, killing nearly 3,000 people from 93 different nations. Join Best Bet Motor Sales in commemorating the anniversary of 9/11. Take time to remember the many lives that were lost and how we as U.S. citizens came together to mourn and rebuild this great nation. Thank you to all U.S. military members and law enforcement for serving. It's time to remember 9/11 and how precious and great life is. Best Bet Motor Sales, 29 South, Lynchburg.
Zaxby's, Wards Ferry Road, Lynchburg.
Man, that house salad looks good.
Dude, it's so good.
How about one bite for the road?
No.
Sharing is caring.
No. You can't have any of my salad, bro.
Wait, I got it right here.
I got $20 in a dream, yeah.
Well, that's a hit right there, dude.
Thank you.
Thanks, dude.
The house salad. Grilled chicken atop mixed greens, cucumbers, Roma tomatoes, cheddar and jack cheeses, and fried onions. Served with Texas toast. Zaxby's, indescribably good.
The Village Barbershop, an old-school 1960s-style barbershop, offering classic and current cutting techniques for gentlemen and boys. No appointment necessary. Responsible pricing in a clean family environment. Village Barbershop, open Tuesday through Friday, 8 to 6, Saturdays till noon. Stop by and see Danny Barber at Village Barbershop, serving Altavista and surrounding areas from 619 Broad Street. Give them a try.
Here's more award-winning high school sports with Kyle and Oscar on 105.5 KD Country.
Did you hear that, Kyle? Classic and current cutting techniques. Dave Haney can do it. I can do it. I don't know why you have such a problem getting it out. Danny Barber has got to, do something special for us.
I have been to Danny Barber, and I love his work. I love the environment. I love sitting there having a conversation with the guys. Just for some reason, when I'm reading those taglines there in our sponsor roll call that we do, our starting lineup before the games, I seem to have a hard time saying family-style barbershop offering current and classic cutting techniques. I can't do it. I don't know if it's a mental block or a physical block. I'm going to get some therapy to try and figure it out. Colonels have figured it out for the most part. They lead 22-12 against the Greensville County Eagles. Oscar, let's dive into the second half now. I think the adjustments for both teams are pretty simple. It's play like we were playing when we were playing good, avoid the mistakes. I know that's easier said than done. Greensville County, I don't know if they should run more or throw more. I don't know if that's a simple answer there, because this Shaheem Anderson, he's a senior. He is listed as a running back linebacker, but he's playing quarterback for the Greensville County Eagles. 5'7", 199 pounds. He is a lot of fun to watch, and he's a dangerous weapon.
Boy, and 199 sounds light when you look at him. I know he's 5'7", but he is a well-put-together kid. Got guns. He's stout. Runs strong. He's got a strong arm. I think, to your point, it looks like they've gone through spells where they've done nothing but run, and then they've gone through spells where nothing but throw the ball. I think if they can balance that out, they can stay in this ball game.
Yeah, excellent observation by you. If they can get some balance, maybe keep the Colonels' defense guessing a little bit. Remember, they ran the one hard count successfully, but I think, to my knowledge, they never went back to changing the snap count. I think everybody else has been on one. And certainly maybe they're saving that for a key moment, but if you're down by 10, every moment's key. You can't fall behind anymore, not in a half. I mean, I know people have come back from 3 touchdowns or more, but it's pretty rare that you come back from more than 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, they're only 10 points down, and that hard count was actually used twice. It got Jake Adams both times.
You're right. It was used twice.
And, again, Jake's successfully used the hard count against Greensville tonight as well, but certainly the Colonels need to do something on this opening drive to take that momentum back away from Greensville.
Yeah, that would be huge. I mean, I wonder what the demeanor was like in the locker room for Greensville County. I say the locker room. They didn't go to the locker room. They huddled up on the other side of the end zone, like a lot of teams do. That's not uncommon. A lot of teams just don't want to go up the hill, and it takes 3 or 4 or 5 minutes to get in that locker room, get settled. So some coaches just say, we'll just stay down here.
Well, they wanted to see, which Lizards kids were going to come up and play against them in a few years, and then they wanted to see the band show.
Band show took a while, but good as usual from director Mario Ruiz and the Altavista Marching Band. Yeah, back to your point, back to the second half. Colonels could really set the tone and make a statement here if they can score on this opening drive. Doesn't really matter if it comes quickly, 1 or 2 play drive, or it's a long sustained drive. If they put up some points here, it's going to say a lot.
No, I think you're absolutely right, and they've got to keep the ball in their own hands. They can't turn the ball over. They've got to start getting that discipline again. 2 early turnovers tonight led to the 12 points. Were it not for those turnovers, you got to wonder exactly what the score would be.
Yeah, they might really have Greensville, they're back to the wall then. It was an opening drive fumble and then a interception on the second possession for the Altavista Colonels. Since then, they have held on to it and been pretty clean on offense. Few penalties here or there, but for the most part, operating pretty effectively. Subway halftime show will draw to a close. I do want to mention again the great customer service in there. We had a good time earlier today. We always have a good time. They'll take care of you. They'll treat you right. It really is an operation that's second to none there. Mr. Robert Duff has. I'm not just saying that because he might be listening. It really is the truth. But I think Mr. Duff, out of town tonight, we have Andy McCracken back in his place. And Mr. McCracken is a guy who has been spending some time on the road. Speaking of Altavista alumni, his daughter Madeline McCracken, of course, a Division I soccer player now, Oscar. It's not a ton of Division I athletes that have come from Altavista, so that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's Boston College. Doing extremely well for a freshman. She's getting about 30 minutes a game, and talking with Andy earlier, she's not real thrilled that that's the limited time she's getting, but it's early in the season and it's 30 minutes a game for a freshman, and playing major college soccer. That's impressive. Her minutes will get deeper as the year goes on.
Absolutely. I wasn't going to mention Boston College because I figured people would start complaining about the Patriots again somehow.
Hey, wait a minute.
Are you going to complain
well,
about
Coach Sharna said that he had the KDE Colonel's broadcast coming across his radios earlier. So.
Don't joke about it because it might actually happen. You better knock on wood. No, I think the Patriots are it's kind of like professional wrestling now. They're the Four Horsemen or the NWO. They cheat to win, but you like them anyway. Well, not everybody likes them. Squib kick will get fielded on the 15-yard line. No, it won't. Chancellor Mormon struggled to pick it up. Mateo Malback will get it instead. He gets spun forward across the 25 to the 26, possibly the 27 on the return. That didn't exactly go to script there, and I'm sure Mormon kind of kicking himself saying those could have been my return yards, but the Colonels are glad that they held on to it and advanced it.
Yeah, that's the point, is that they did hold on to it, and Mateo was able to get some positive yardage and get out to the 27-yard line.
In Mormon's defense, it wasn't exactly an easy kick to handle.
Oh, no.
It was a line drive that was about waist high the whole time, and he tried to catch it on the second or third bounce. Shotgun formation for Altavista from just inside the left hash mark, their own territory, 27-yard line. Put a man in motion. They fake it to him. Here come the whistles out. This play will get stopped before it gets started. I think this is going to be on the Colonels. It is illegal procedure. Somebody moved up front for Altavista. It'll back them up 5.
That's not an uncommon penalty as we watch the Colonels. They use that little jet sweep, and usually a couple times a game something will happen. They'll get called a motion or illegal procedure on that sweep.
Unfortunately, you're right. That's not an uncommon penalty. Substitutions coming in there now. They're going to take, it looks to be Josh McClure out and put Trey Robinson in. Looks like the rest of the first-team offense pretty much intact, including the linemen. Jacob Adams barking out some signals now. He's got Nelson Dews to his right. Again, they'll snap this ball just inside the left hash mark. They're working left to right from our perspective. Robinson goes in motion. They hand it to Nelson Dews off left tackle. Tries to follow the pulling guard. Ran into a linebacker about 4 yards beyond the line of scrimmage and stopped there. Never went to the ground. They just kind of stood him up. It's actually more like a 2-yard gain.
Jonathan Montague had some early success running the ball, but Greensville's really shut down the running game for the Colonels. Haven't had a lot of success other than what Jake Adams was able to do late in the first quarter, early in the second quarter.
The Greensville County Eagles do have some size up front. They're playing that 4-man defensive line. It's normally a 4-3. Sometimes it's a 4-4 defense. One deep safety this time. Colonels are in the shotgun formation as usual. They hand it to Nelson Dews. This play is going to get some yardage. He's across the 30, on his feet, lowers his shoulder at the 40, and then ahead for even further around the 41 or 42-yard line before he's finally pushed to the grass.
Boy, he was stopped at the 35-yard line and spun, put his hand down, kept balance, kept driving his leg forwards. All that additional 7 yards, the first down is all on Nelson Dews. Effort.
Good job, Nelson Dews. Good blocking up front initially, but you're right. Once he got into the linebackers, Nelson made some hay on his own. Dante Poindexter in as a blocking back. They're going to throw to Walker Allen instead. He was uncovered, but he dropped it. He got moving pretty quick, and his feet got sort of tangled up. And I think that caused him to drop that football there. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Well, that's inexperience between the two, between the quarterback and wide receiver as well. Under that circumstance, he's got to put a little bit more air under it and really give Walker a little bit better lead rather than that fastball. I know that Jake's a little gun shy from what happened earlier, but that was the right throw, was to give him a little bit more air. There was nobody within 10 yards of him.
They're giving Walker Allen about a 15-yard cushion now. Shotgun snap. They hand it to Jonathan Montague. Montague's got room off left tackle. Driving ahead. He drops his shoulder around the 45-yard line. Thrown down to the 42. That's a first down pickup. 13-yard gain for Jonathan Montague, and the Altavista Colonels are moving the chains. 10:46 left to play in the Select Air third quarter. It's a 10-point Altavista lead.
Boy, the last two runs have been all running downhill. That offensive line really blowing Greensville off the line these last two running plays.
Colonels looking to the sideline for a play, and you're right. The offensive line is really flexing their muscle up front now. Adams gets ready for the snap, chest high, hands it off to Jonathan Montague. Montague spin move at the line of scrimmage. He's still on his feet. Ball got a little loose around the 30-yard line. Montague rode out of bounds around the 29 or 28-yard line into Greensville County territory. Colonels really bruising some people up front. Montague with a nice run, although that football got away from his body for a moment.
It looked a little Tiki Barberish when he was carrying the ball out, and that scares me.
1st and 10 from the right hash mark, near side hash mark for the Colonels. Wide side is the left side of the field. Colonels in the home whites. They put Dante Poindexter in motion. Jacob Adams is going to run off left tackle. He's got some room. Down to the 20-yard line, falls to the deck as he gets hit from behind, and the side there. He's close to the first down marker. Maybe a yard shy, but either way, it's a great running play on first down.
When Nelson Dews punished somebody to really give Jake the additional yardage.
Colonels are blocking well, not just the O-line, the running backs and the receivers too. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Chest high snap. They hand it to Nelson Dews. Dews trying to go right up behind the center. Not a whole lot there other than a big mass of bodies. He's suplexed to the ground by a linebacker. That looks to be number 53, Jaquan Simmons, who we already had one professional wrestling reference about the Four Horsemen. Simmons just went with the old belly-to-back suplex.
5'8", 158. He picked Nelson up and threw, just body slammed, like you said, suplexed him.
It's borderline excessive. Sometimes officials will throw a flag for that, but they didn't there. 3rd and 1 here for the Colonels. Right hash mark. Hard snap count by Jacob Adams will get the Colonels a first down via the penalty. Nice job by Adams to change up the snap count again. We already talked about that once. And it works to perfection right there.
Well, we've talked about it several times this year, and he had great experience to be able to watch Juan Thornhill.
Yeah, Colonels have been blessed with some quarterbacks that can really use that hard count effectively. And all the other 10 guys have to make it work, too, by remaining still. 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. Altavista's got some guys bunched in. They're going to hand it off to Nelson Dews. Dews has got some room off right tackle. Shake and bake move at the 10, steps back inside at the 5. Dews trying to work to the side or the end zone, but he's pushed back. He'll stay inbounds. They're going to spot it right at the 4.5 or 5-yard line. Good hard running by Nelson Dews. Had the ball in his right hand, stiffed arm with the left, and then a sidestep move around the 10-yard line.
We talked about the Colonels getting some favorable spots earlier. That one not so favorable. 2nd down in less than a foot, it looks like, from this angle.
All evens out in the long run, right? It is 2nd down, and man, I'm with you. Might be about half a football length. Shotgun snap. Adams hands it off to Nelson Dews again. Dews hit hard in the backfield, but I think he got the first down. He had to press through the meat of that Greensville defense. Somebody's helmet popped off. Jacob Adams picked it up for the man and handed it back to the cornerback from Greensville County. It's Devontae Moody whose helmet came off. 8:05 left to play in the Select Air third quarter. First and goal now for Altavista from just beyond the 4-yard line.
Nelson coming out. Jonathan coming in.
Dante Poindexter in as the blocking back. He'll set up shop right between left guard and left tackle. Here comes the shotgun snap. That's where they want to run. Adams cuts it back inside. Touchdown, Jacob Adams. His second rushing touchdown of the night. Give Jacob Adams 7 touchdowns on the young season and give the Colonels an extension of their lead. 28-12. Extra point on the way with 7:49 left to play in the third quarter.
Boy,
What a drive.
That's exactly the way you want to start the second half. Leading 22-12, all the momentum on Greensville's side. Come out, open up, and have a 74-yard drive to eat up over 4 minutes of the clock. Just textbook exactly what you want to do to try to gain control of the ball game.
It's a 4-yard run for Jacob Adams there. He started off left tackle. He had Kagan Cox, Dante Poindexter, and Jonathan Montague all blocking for him. Then he cut it back up the middle. Speaking of right down the middle, that's where Walker Allen's kick went. Right down Broadway between the uprights. 29-12. Colonels on top. 7:49 left to play in the third when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Brother needs a pickup, sister wants a ride. Uncle needs a sports car to keep him satisfied. Mama, she wants comfort, luxury and style. And daddy, he just wants a deal that's gonna make him smile. Everybody's happy, you can hear them all say, we're glad we went to Fellas Chevrolet. Competition for all dealers in Central VA. A short drive will save you money. Fellas Chevrolet in Altavista.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
We talked about it would be big if the Colonels could come out and make a statement here on the first drive of the second half, Oscar. They did just that, ate up a lot of the quarter, and it turned into a 73-yard scoring drive, capped off by the touchdown run from Jacob Adams.
We alluded to it. It was textbook, and again, nice job. Really, something you would see from a more mature team, the way that they handled themselves on that drive. Offensive line did a great job controlling the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that offensive line, left tackle Kagan Cox, he is really becoming a guy to watch. Sometimes he sets up on the right side as well, but he seems to really just dominate at the point of attack. They ran behind him a bunch. Kenny Brumfield blocked well. This ball is kicked very well, 8 yards deep in the end zone. Greensville County tried to go back there and return it, but in high school, you cannot return it out of the end zone. So that's a touchback, and another occasion where Greensville will start from their own 20-yard line via the touchback.
Well, you got to wonder at some point, is Walker gonna airmail one out of the end zone?
Yeah, or kick one through the uprights.
Kick one through the uprights.
You see that occasionally.
Saw it last night on a pro game.
There you go. Walker, I don't know. It's hard to judge kickers for us, but Walker has a big leg, and especially when he's feeling good. You talked about how he was actually a little banged up in the first game against Lunenburg, so maybe not kicking at full strength. Seems like he's back to full strength now. Design run for Shaheem Pinnell on the quarterback delay, diving forward towards the first down. He didn't get there, but he got close. 28-yard line, I believe, is where they're going to spot this ball after a first down running play from Greensville County.
Well, not only is his plant leg a little banged up, but also he's going offense and defense too. So you would expect him to be a little bit more tired than he was last year when he was kicking all the balls into the end zone.
Running play again. Looks like an option. Shaheem Anderson will keep it himself. Right up the seam there on the left side. Football popped out, but he was down again, and he got hit hard. He is not getting up as quickly this time as he has on those other ones.
Boy, it looked like Mateo Malbach's the one that lowered the boom on him, and it was down low. Absolutely a clean hit, but it was down low on his legs in the right around the knee area.
Yeah, right around the thigh pad or the knee. Let's step aside for a timeout. 7:15 left to play in the third quarter. Colonels leading 29-12 over Greensville County on 105.5 KD Country.
TCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this award-winning broadcast. PCM Industrial Maintenance and Construction Specialist, providing welding, millwright, erection, and fabrication services to all forms of industry throughout the Mid-Atlantic region from offices in Altavista. PCM Industrial Services wishes Coach Chartis and the Altavista football team a safe and successful season. Go Colonels!
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Kyle Haney with the Big O, Agent Zero, Oscar Briggs. Glad you've decided to join us on a Friday night. Maybe you're leaving another game that you were at, or you're flipping around on the dial, or maybe you're sitting here in the stands at English Stadium taking in the Colonels and the Greensville County Eagles. Either way, thanks for joining us and putting up with us. Colonels lead 29-12. They scored on their opening drive of the half here to start the third quarter. 29 unanswered points, Oscar Briggs, and the man down right now for Greensville County is quarterback Shaheem Anderson. And if he can't return to this football game, that's going to be a big blow to their comeback hopes. We assume, anyway, if they had another quarterback of this talent, maybe he'd be in there. But I don't know. Maybe that's a bad assumption.
We saw Naquan Jordan go down earlier. He hasn't come back in from my vision. If he has, I've missed him. And certainly this would be a big blow.
Yeah, this would hurt. We have both been very impressed with the things Shaheem Anderson has done with the arm and with his feet. Playmaking ability is something that we can testify to after this performance tonight. It looks to be, does it look like number 10 warming up on the sideline over there? Diamond Turner to you, Mr. Briggs. It's hard to see. Again, the Greensville County jerseys are white with yellow numbers. Probably look good up close, but from afar, it's hard to really see what the numbers are.
Yeah, this season's off to an odd start. Bring you another score. William Campbell 12, Buckingham 41. Wow. Which, yeah, I mean, you look at what William Campbell and Lunenburg did with a very close ball game, but William Campbell winning that ball game, and now to see Buckingham pretty much dismantling William Campbell, it looks like it's wide open.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, that is a very interesting score. We were a bit surprised last week when William Campbell beat Lunenburg. I don't think we were surprised that it was close. We knew William Campbell was going to play good football a year. This is interesting, though, with Buckingham beating up on William Campbell. Buckingham beat up on Chatham the week before this. So, yeah, I don't know. Buckingham, maybe Buckingham's just the real deal this year. Colonel scrimmaged them in the first scrimmage of the year, and it was pretty much tit for tat. I mean, obviously you can't tell a lot from a scrimmage.
Well, Appomattox, beat Buckingham too. So
sure.
This is it's setting up to be a real neat season.
It is. You're right. Shotgun formation. Greensville County ready to go from the middle of the field of 41. Handoff play. Football's on the ground. Colonels have it. The Altavista Colonels have it. I don't think the handoff was ever really completed. No. It was Diamond Turner in there at quarterback. He looked like he tried to hand off to Isaiah Crutchfield, and the football was just never secure. The Altavista Colonels pick it up.
Crutchfield was almost a yard in front of him when he was able to before he released the ball, and just never secured it. And there were, take your pick which Colonel recovered. There were 3 or 4 there.
Yeah.
Didn't see who ultimately ended up on the ball.
It was a shame for the Eagles because he actually had a hole there. If he could have secured the football, he would have at least had a 5-yard pickup, if not more. Altavista's offense back on the field, set, ready to work. Pistol formation. Running back is Montague, lined up right behind Jacob Adams. Here comes a shotgun snap. They fake the run. They want to throw down the right sideline. Looking for Walker Allen. He can't catch up to it. He was in full stride, but the football was just about 6 inches or a foot outside his outstretched arms, incomplete.
Boy, that was another good throw. Just needed a little bit more air under it. They've run that pattern twice now. Actually 3 times where Mateo Malbeck and Walker Allen are mere yards apart. Really, you're drawing 2 defenders in when you do that. So interesting pattern, but again, a nice throw by Jake.
It was a good throw, just a little bit too far. Blocking back is in. That's Dante Poindexter. 2nd and 10, middle of the field, 41-yard line. Handoff play goes to Jonathan Montague. He's got some room along the right side. He's a step inside the sideline, and he hurdles a man. Jonathan Montague with the jump move right over the would-be tackler. I remember Destin Brown used to use that on occasion. Montague got very high and used it with great effectiveness to get about 4 or 5 more yards.
Boy, Kari Carr, who is 5'6", went to make the tackle, and he drew nothing but air. Boy, Montague showing great vertical there, leapt over him and got about 5 or 6 additional yards out of that play. That's a highlight that you'd like to see again.
That is fun to watch right there. 1st and 10. They'll hand it to Johnny Montague again. This time, shoved down right around the line of scrimmage. Somebody missed a blocking assignment up front for the Colonels. I got a feeling Jonathan Montague needed to catch his breath anyway. He does fall forward for a yard pickup.
Yeah, he's coming out after that run. That was exciting. And, after the play, one of the linemen came over from Greensville and took Carr under his shoulder and just said, "Come on, little guy."
Right. Shake it off. That's all you can do. 2nd and 9 for the Colonels. 5:58 left to play in the quarter. They lead 29-12. Fake the handoff. Jacob Adams going to keep it himself. He's across the 20. Stiff arms the man at the 15. Steps back inside. He is still driving. There's a guy that is all wrapped up in his jersey. I mean, inside of his jersey. Adams was taking him with him, and he's got enough for a first down. He got it to the 12-yard line. That was the yard to gain, and Adams got it done. Another man laying on the turf hurt for Greensville County. I think he's going to pop up, though. Maybe not. Let's keep it here for right now. We're seeing some interesting things. I maybe would like to see the fans get on their feet a little bit on some of these hard runs.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a lazy crowd.
They're here.
Well,
they're here.
yeah.
They're
I mean,
just,
they're in their seats
yeah,
too.
It's a 29-12 ball game. I have a feeling maybe they're having some conversations and that kind of thing. The football game is just sort of on in the background situation, at least for some people. Not everybody. There's some diehards that are out there watching every play. Greensville County coaching staff over here to look at the injured player.
Diamond Turner.
Boy, and he's the backup quarterback.
Yeah.
It's going from bad to worse here for Greensville County. Let's step aside for a timeout. We don't know how long this injury will take. We'll keep you posted and let you know what happens when we get back. 5:41 remaining in the Select Air third quarter. Colonels lead 29-12 over Greensville on 105.5 KD Country.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Virginia high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too.
Brought to you by English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels 29, Greensville County 12. You're hearing it all on 105.5 KD Country, WKDE, Altavista, Lynchburg.
Good to see Diamond Turner get up and go off under his own power.
He did hop up, walked over to the sideline. Got to come out for at least a play, and I think they want to talk to him a little bit more. He's down on one knee with his helmet off over there, but he did walk off under his own power. Colonel's offense will set up shop here from the 12-yard line, right hash mark. It's a 1st and 10. Once again, they can get a first down at about the 1.5-yard line without getting a touchdown. 5:39 left to play as the clock starts up again after the timeout. Man in motion is Aaron Close in at the running back spot. They're going to run behind him again. No, they're going to run to the right side. Nelson Dews got hit hard at the line of scrimmage around the shoulder pads. Not shaken up or anything, but that was a good hard shot from what looked to be Devontae Moody there on the tackle. Stopped him for a 1-yard gain.
You know, we called Moody's name early and often in the first quarter, but since then, not so much.
Yeah, he's a good, rugged linebacker. Like what he brings to the table. Unfortunately, he has had to make a lot of tackles tonight for the Eagles. Colonel's getting set. Right side of the offensive line kind of huddling up, trying to get the play straight, and then Jacob Adams sort of gets in there and directs traffic. 4:53 left to play in the quarter. Adams wants to run off left tackle. Can't get free, though. Got stopped in the backfield and then dove forward for maybe a 1 or 2 yard gain. Yeah, they call it a 1-yard pickup. It'll bring up 3rd and 7 for Altavista now.
Personnel changes. Walker Allen back on the field.
Wonder if they might try and throw the ball in the end zone up high to Walker Allen. Maybe
Yeah.
some kind of a fade route situation. Colonels are signaling the play in from the sideline.
Josh McClure in the game as well. Aaron Close out.
Colonels play clock running down. You heard clock operator Jimmy Monday say they got 10 seconds. Now they got 4, and the Colonels coaching staff saw that and decided to burn the timeout. Let's take the timeout with them. 4:14 left to play in the third. Colonels lead 29-12. Big third down on the way when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoon, so you can come by anytime, any day, 11 a.m. till 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Another score to report. Our good buddies at Galax beating Rural Treat 39-20 at the end of the third quarter. Steve Hilma, one of my golf partners, who, if he'd have listened to me, done a little Tiger Woods surgery on his wrist and popped it back in place when he was playing like he should have, he'd be out on the golf course now.
Self-surgery?
Yeah.
You condone that?
Oh, yeah.
As long as it's not on you.
If it works for Tiger.
There you go. Well, I don't really want to go under the knife either, so maybe self-surgery is better. 4:14 left to play. Colonels have 3rd and 7 here, middle of the field. They'll snap it from the Greensville County 6-yard line. They put Mateo Mall back in motion over to the left. Adams lets him jog through. Turns around, fakes it to Nelson Dews. Passing play. Oh, they had the man open in the end zone. It was Josh McClure. Just couldn't pull it in right at the goal line.
Josh really wanted that.
Yeah, he did. Mateo Malback goes over, gives him a pat on the butt and a high five, and says, don't worry about it. We assume he says something along the lines of don't worry about it. That's what the body language indicated. 4th down will come up, and Altavista is going to take the opportunity to try a field goal with Walker out. Jacob Adams will hold. They'll place the tee at the 15-yard line, so about 5 yards more than an extra point here. Certainly within Walker's range. Snap is back good. Hold is good. Kick is long enough. Kick is straight enough. Walker Allen has been playing great tonight in a lot of ways, and now he's added 3 points to the ledger for the Colonels. 32-12. 4:07 left to play in the third quarter on 105.5 KD Country.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in. Bring the family, see your friends at Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
Your home for Colonel Sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels now 32 unanswered points after falling down 12-0 in the early stages of the ball game. Boy, they're scoring in a lot of different ways again, Oscar. Jacob Adams has some rushing touchdowns. Jonathan Montague has a rushing touchdown, 1 passing touchdown, now a field goal. This is turned out to be, after that initial 6 minutes of football, a pretty good game from Altavista.
Yeah, it has, and I want to make a point about that missed touchdown opportunity here after the kickoff.
Well, I hate to jinx it, but you could probably talk right through the Walker Allen kickoff, and we could just assume he's going to boom it in the end zone for a touchback. But like I said, let's not jinx it. Here comes the run up from the senior Walker Allen. It's a line drive, and yes, it will land 5 yards into the end zone. Not his longest, but it ends up with the same result, 20-yard line.
Bottom line, Josh McClure he should have caught that ball, given he probably catches it 9 times out of 10. But I think there's an opportunity there for Jake as well. That was probably an intermediate ball, wasn't his fast ball, but that's an opportunity where Josh was wide open. That little drag play from the tight end across the field, he was wide open, and really just a little bit of a feather touch there from Jacob might have done the deal.
Yeah, great point. I mean, I don't think you completely lob it in there. Maybe
No.
you go with the 60% kind of throw. That's an excellent point by you, and I think as he grows as a quarterback, that's something that he'll use a little bit more. Running play on first down. Dante Poindexter has had enough of that. Stuffs it in the backfield. He was really getting there almost as the running back was getting the handoff. Dante Poindexter reading the snap count well and blowing through the defensive line.
And I don't want to think people think I'm nitpicking on Jake, because he's had a heck of a ball game, and he'll learn these things as he moves forward. And again, he's just a sophomore in his third start.
That's right. That's an excellent point. In his third start as a varsity quarterback, no, I didn't think you were nitpicking. I think it was a valid thing to bring up. Might have been offside there, but they won't call it. And here's an interception. Mateo Malbec catches at the 35. He's got eyes for the end zone. Breaks one tackle, tries to spin move out of another. Can't. Nice return, though. We'll call it a 15-yard interception return. He gets it to the 20. Flag comes out at the end of the play. Don't know who this is on, but there was a little bit of roughhousing going on after the whistle there on both sides. And great interception there from Mateo Malbec as the ball just hung up in the air, and he ran under it like a center fielder.
You see who the peacekeeper is there? Dante Poindexter went out in the middle of the jaw and took one arm. He pushed Nelson Dews back about 5 yards with no effort whatsoever. And one of the Greensville players was talking a little bit, and Dante just kind of shut him down as well.
Probably just gave him a look, and that was enough. I mean, one look from Dante Poindexter. Now, don't get me wrong, Dante's a nice guy.
Great kid.
If you've seen him, he's well put together at 5'10", 230 pounds, and he's kind of one of those guys, when he speaks, you listen. He's not a man of many words.
No,
so
he's a real, he's relatively a laid-back kid, and we've documented throughout the game so far this year. He drills somebody to the ground, and he extends his hand out and he picks them up. He's a great kid, shows great sportsmanship, but he got in the middle of that and shut all that nonsense down. Great job by Dante there.
Yeah, that was fun last week, seeing how many times he helped up the guy that he tackled. I mean, it was at least on half the tackles that he made, he helped the guy up. 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. Colonel's knocking on the door again. They hand it off to Montague. Montague racing for the end zone. I think he's just about a yard short. He got knocked at about the 5-yard line, got it close, maybe to the 1-yard line. When they end up spotting it, it might be a first down for Altavista. They snapped that one from the 11. See what the officials decide to do. Stick still says 1, now it says 2, so we'll call it 2nd and inches, but probably 2nd and a yard away from the end zone.
This will be Jake on the keeper, probably.
Adams looks over the defense. Going to hand it off again to Montague. Montague got spun around. He's short. His back might have reached the goal line, but the football never did as he got spun around in the backfield. I think the officials have maybe given up on trying to spot it, whether it's a first down or not. I mean, the first down stick rests on the 1-yard line or just inside of it. They say he lost a yard, so it's 3rd and 1 now. They need about 2 yards to get in the end zone. There's 2:25 left to play in the third quarter. 32-12, Colonels lead by 20, looking to extend it. Adams has got the offense ready. No, he's going to send a man in motion. That's Trey Robinson. Option to the left. Adams tried to pitch to Robinson and lost the football. It's still out. I think Robinson scooped it up. Yes, he did, right around the 8-yard line. They lost some yards there. Interesting play. Jacob Adams just lost a grip on the football as he tried to pitch it away.
Yeah, that play looked like it was doomed from the start. Greensville did a nice job of getting out on the edge. There wasn't, even with the pitch, there wasn't a lot of places for Trey to go.
Yeah, I agree with you. It looked interesting from the start. I'm not sure Altavista had it designed, well, they had it designed well. I'm not sure they executed it well. Walker Allen's going to try another kick, though.
Difficult angle.
It is. He's kicking this from the left hash mark. It's a little bit longer than the previous one. We'll call it a 17-yard field goal attempt. Snap is back good. Kick is up good. He made it again. Nice job from Walker Allen. Back-to-back field goals makes it a 35-12 Altavista lead. 90 seconds left to play in the third quarter when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, on the ready to keep you comfortable year-round. Locally owned and operated, just a call away with over 20 years experience. Licensed and bonded, Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, specializing in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical, any season, anytime. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Give them a call today. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, Gretna.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
I said 90 seconds left in the Select Air third quarter. That was a little bit of a fib. There's 87 seconds left in the third quarter. Close enough, though, Oscar. 127 if you want to look at it that way. Colonels will come out and kick off again. Back-to-back Walker Allen field goals. This last one set up by the Mateo Malbec interception. That gives Mr. Malbec 3 picks on the year. Does that sound right? Sounds right to me. He's got 1 return for a touchdown last game.
We had 2 last game.
So I think that's right. I don't think he
Maybe.
had any against Central Lunenburg. Boy, we're lacking professionalism here. Award winners don't guess. They just look at the stat sheet that's in front of them. Of course, that's also been provided by some intern.
Oh, my goodness.
Walker Allen has got a hold of this one. 5 yards deep in the end zone again. That's a touchback. Walker Allen does it again. He had 4 on the year coming into tonight. I think he's got 4 tonight. I think that's 8 on the year for Walker Allen. That's 8 times the other team's offense has had to set up shop at the 20-yard line.
The ones tonight haven't even been close. That one was touched 5 yards deep, but it was probably 7 or 8 when it would if it would have landed.
That's right. And that one had the full height on it. He's kicked some other ones that have been more line drives. That one had the good height on it. I mean, he really got a hold of that one. He's gotten a hold of all those field goals and the extra points, too. Looking solid. Mr. Todd Brittingham into the press box. Now, that's a face you don't get to see enough. Good personal friend of mine. And perhaps Colonel fans might know his wife, the yearbook journalism teacher here at Altavista High School. Running play for Greensville County. It was busted. It didn't look like it went the right way from the start. Quarterback tried to chase it out to the right sideline and pick up some yards that way. Wasn't many to be found.
When Shaheem Anderson went down, all chances of Greensville Mountain, any kind of comeback or staying in this ball game whatsoever, went out the window.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for the Eagles. Bus ride home is going to seem a little bit longer, not only because of the score, but because of some of these injuries that we have seen. And hopefully these aren't season-ending type of injuries. Because Shaheem Anderson, man, if he can stay healthy, he's going to put up some serious numbers on people, passing and running. Holding was on Greensville County. Colonels have decided to decline it, which is a smart move. They lost about 5 yards anyway. So make it 2nd and 15 instead of 1st and 15. Well, it may have been more than 1st and 15, but might not have been much more. 1 minute left to play in the Select Air third quarter. Greensville County offense getting set to operate under center this time. 2 receivers to each side. 1 lone setback. They'll toss it to him here on the off-tackle play. Not much doing. Looks like Josh McClure was the first man to snuff it out and hit the running back about a yard deep in the backfield. Pardon me, that was Matt Aiken on the stop there.
Yeah, and to go back to the previous drive by the Colonels, while it won't show as a turnover, and we did get 3 points out of it, to have the ball right at the goal line and it's 2nd down and not to be able to convert that, those are the type things. You think back to that. You think about to the first half when Colonels had 4th and on the Jake Adams sack, had 4th and, I don't know, 30 or something like that. Walker Allen was able to bail him out with the punt. But those are the type things they've got to get away from.
Excellent point. Passing play here on 3rd down. Pass is incomplete. Little high. They were looking over to the right side there. Looked like they were looking for Naquan Jordan. Is that Naquan Jordan back in the football game, Oscar?
Looks like it is.
Either way, it was incomplete, and it'll bring up 4th and long. We'll call it 4th and 17 for Greensville County. That actually stopped the clock with 0.7 seconds left in the third quarter. So there'll be one final play here in the third quarter. The Eagles will punt this ball away from, again, the shadow of their own goalpost.
And again, punting has been an adventure for them
It
tonight.
has. They're still struggling to get the right personnel out there on the field. They finally do get set up. Punter stands at about the 2.5-yard line. Snap's pretty good. Kick is blocked. It's blocked over here to the near sideline. It's going to roll back in the end zone. Colonel scoop it up for a touchdown.
Hey, it's Josh
number
McClure.
23, Josh McClure. Doesn't get the touchdown with the catch, but he gets the touchdown on the blocked punt. Colonels had about 5 guys around that football ready to scoop it up. McClure did the honors for 6.
Hey, that's great for him to get his first touchdown only 3 games into the season. He's worked hard. We've called his name a lot. Great. I know he hung his head after dropping that ball on the previous drive. For him to get the 6 points there, I think is a little bit of karma.
Good job by the punt team to get in there and block it. McClure was one of the first guys in on the block punt itself. He may have been the actual guy that blocked it too.
I don't know.
Either way, he was the guy that picked it up from TD.
And again, I don't know if it was a blocker. They just shoved the blocker back in, and,
Right.
and I think the punter just punted it into the back of him. There was just such a meeting of personnel there.
Walker Allen on to try the extra point. Snap didn't get down. Jacob Adams wants to throw, pass a little high, tried for the 2-pointer there, although not intentionally. So that's incomplete, but the Colonels add points anyway off the block punt. 41-12, Altavista on top. One more quarter of regulation play when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Prompt, confidential, professional. A-Town Bail Bonds. 434-401-0253. Local, reliable, available 24/7. A-Town Bail Bonds. 434-401-0253. When a friend or family member is arrested and jailed, call a professional. Call Chip Rourke and A-Town Bail Bonds. 434-401-0253. Get answers. Get help. A-Town Bail Bonds. 434-401-0253.
Here's more award-winning high school sports with Kyle and Oscar on 105.5 KD Country.
The press box discussion has digressed into talking about golf, but I can assure you nobody on the Altavista Colonel's sideline is talking about golf right now. They lead 41-12 over Greensville County. Special teams has done it again, Oscar, with the blocked punt.
Yeah, and now some of the fans are starting to leave. As this one's firmly in hand as the beginning of the fourth quarter. Colonel's leading 41-12.
Well, hopefully if they do leave, they tune us in, and that means we got a few more listeners. Colonels will set up the kickoff coverage team, trying to see if it's Nick Boley kicking off or if Walker Allen. It's still Walker Allen out there on the kickoff. So we've got one more quarter to play. Fourth quarter is brought to you, of course, by Select Air Mechanical and Electrical repairs and new installations, too. Select Air does it all with prompt and courteous service. Online at selectairmechanical.com. Allen with the run up, and this football is crushed, but it'll stay out of the end zone. Turn man caught it on about the half-yard line. He's going to bring it up the right sideline, and he is hit hard. Man holding on to the shoestrings there for the Colonels. Who is that? That's number 1, Trey Robinson. Excellent play right there from Trey Robinson to first hit him and then to wrap up and drag him down with the ankle pick there.
Trey also blew up the blocker that was leading and was able to drive through him and get a hold of the return man. So nice job by Trey.
Great stuff there from the senior, Trey Robinson, 5'9", 150 pounds. Colonels look like they still have a lot of the first-team guys in on defense. I would assume that Coach Sharnes will start mixing and matching and running some substitute and some other guys in there. I mean, the Colonels do that anyway. Altavista does a nice job of keeping guys fresh and using a lot of different personnel to get the victory. Greensville County set up on offense. Let's snap this ball from inside the 20, so it works out better than a touchback. 18-yard line, right hash mark. Quarterback does look to be number 10, Diamond Turner. Officials have blown the play dead to talk about things. Everybody from Greensville looking down at their shoes and their uniform like somebody have a shoestring untied and the referee saw it or something. Class act of the official to point that out. I think that's all it was. I think Diamond Turner, the quarterback, had a shoe unlaced. Empty backfield for Turner. Snaps a little wide, but he corrals it with the right hand. Now he has to take off and run because of the rush. Back to the original line of scrimmage. Not much more there on first down.
Yeah, and he's running for his life. That pocket collapsed, and he had Josh McClure, he had Dante Poindexter. Several Colonels were getting ready to lower the boom on him. He was running for his life.
That Colonel's defensive line is ferocious. Dante Poindexter is stationed at the right defensive end right now. Empty backfield again for Greensville County on 2nd and 11. This snap's a little bit better. Turner takes it, pump fakes. Now he's going to take off and run. Football a little loose. He's tracked down by a trio of Colonel defenders. Dante Poindexter is one of them. Matt Aiken is one of them. And the final one looked like it might have been Andres Diaz-Escura there on the takedown.
Luke Evans slow getting up for Greensville again, and he's been down a couple times. And this defensive line is really punishing Greensville right now. They're, if there was a white flag, I think they'd throw it up right now. Not that they're not trying, but this Colonel's defensive line, well conditioned, deep, can run several players in and out, just continues to dominate.
You're absolutely right. 3-man defensive front. Again, although the Colonels look like they're showing blitz, they are. They bring 2 linebackers. Turner actually has some time to throw, and he finds a man complete over the middle at the 20. Dropped right there, though. He tried to turn it up and get some extra yardage. It'll be a 7-yard pickup on the pass play. Diamond Turner complete to, I think it was Naquan Jordan. Again, I beg your pardon, folks. The numbers for Greensville County, very difficult to see. I think it was Naquan Jordan on the grab. It brings up 4th and 8, though. for the Eagles, and they look to be dropping in the punt formation. Mateo Malback will return for the Altavista Colonels.
And Turner did a good job checking down there. The play was designed to go long, and he found somebody out and had set down in the middle of the field.
Yeah, it was a heady play. I mean, for a backup quarterback, too, no less. Mateo Malback going to field a line drive punt on the right hash mark. Going to bring it back to the left. Got one good block, but flags come out. It must have been illegal. He's across the 40, the 30, to the 25, knocked out of bounds and hit hard on re-entry there as he was going to the turf.
No, Chancellor Mormon absolutely laid somebody out. I don't know who the player is. Can't tell. He knocked his helmet off, and it was a clean shot. I say it was a clean shot, but the official, they did throw the flag on it.
Yeah, it was such a hard hit there by Chancellor Mormon that it's one of those, even if it isn't clean, it has the appearance of a penalty.
And Chancellor's actually showing. He's down there with, looks like Nelson and Mateo. Exactly what happened.
Right.
He said, we both lowered our heads at the same time.
Yeah, their heads met. Chancellor Mormon had more steam going, and he really caught the Greensville County player with his head turned. Yeah, ball's going to get spotted after the penalty on the Altavista 48-yard line. Let's step aside again, give us time to gather our thoughts and hopefully assess the injury just a little bit. Colonels lead 41-12 over Greensville County. 9:37 left to play in the football game on 105.5 KD Country.
Apple Auto Glass is your windshield repair and replacement center in Lynchburg. You get a free car wash with all windshields replaced in the shop. Apple Auto Glass wants the fans to enjoy the boys of fall this high school football season.
When I feel that chill, smell that fresh cut grass, I'm back in my helmet, cleats, and shoulder pad. Kings of the school, man, where the boys of fall.
Apple Auto Glass salutes the boys of fall.
Bank with the local team. Bank of the James on Main Street in Altavista. Stop by our office today to talk with Bobby Walker and his team of local bankers to learn about local banking with Bank of the James. We offer a full line of personal and business banking products and services, including online banking and bill pay, personal and commercial loans and lines of credit, and mortgage loans. Bank with the local team. Bank of the James. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels 41, Eagles 12, and these are the Greensville County Eagles. Let's touch on next week since we do have some time here, something we might normally reserve for the Subway postgame show, but we've got some time due to the injury, Oscar. Always exciting when Altavista and Rustburg hook up in any sport, particularly in football. They didn't play for a while. It's such a close proximity. It's a rivalry game. And, man, the first time they played 2 years ago up there at Rustburg, what a ball game. Colonels win late because of the Walker Allen kick. That was one of the all-time great games we've ever seen. Last year, Altavista got the better of it a little bit more, but still competitive.
Yeah, the Walker Allen field goal. Pretty much his time expired really with 20-some seconds left. Even then Rustburg made a push downfield, but still that was off the right after the Gretna game where he had missed the field goal that would have won it at the last second, and that's where Vinatieri got involved due to Clark Scott, who had a friend that worked for the Colts, and some nice stuff there, and really started the Colonels' run.
Yeah.
That's the game that really catapulted them into the run into that state championship.
No, that's what I was going to say. I mean, I think that game, it came late in the year. I think it was the second to last week of the regular season when they beat Rustburg that year. And it just gave them so much confidence, too, to say, hey, we can beat a good football team. Not only that, we can beat a good team on the road and in a close battle.
And it had implications. That's when there was some talk about, who was going to go where, and it had some implications for home field advantage. Sure. I think that win gave Altavista another round at home.
Maybe made Franklin have to come here that year.
I think that's exactly what happened, and we've well documented what happened when Franklin came here. Altavista had some payback on their mind for what happened at the Armory Field down there the year before, and they had just unleashed on them. I think the score was something ridiculous at the half, 42-0 or something.
That sounds right. Colonels just floodgates opened up for Altavista. In this one tonight, if you joined us late, it's been a little bit interesting. Altavista's up big now, 41-12. They weren't always up big. In fact, they trailed 12-0 midway through the first quarter. Then Colonel started playing their rugged brand of good football. They've ripped off 41 straight points. And I say rugged brand of football, it has not greeted the visiting Greensville County Eagles well. There have been multiple injuries. Not all of them the result of hits and direct contact, but some of them have been, and unfortunately that's the unfortunate side of this game, is that it can be a little bit dangerous, and you've got to play hard, and you teach your guys to play hard, and unfortunately sometimes this stuff happens.
Well, that's right, and you know, right now the player that's down for Greensville, we don't have a number on him. They are bringing the backboard and a stretcher out on the field because that was a pretty violent collision between Chancellor Norman and the unknown Greensville player right now.
Well, and again, you know, we don't want to speculate, and even the fact that they are bringing out the backboard and the stretcher, they do that a lot more as precaution.
That's right.
And I think that's the right thing. I mean, better safe than sorry. He might end up being fine, and we certainly hope that is the case. Our thoughts and prayers go out to, again, we can't see the number because there's everybody crowded around him, but not only this player from Greensville County, but everybody from Greensville County that's been a little banged up in this one tonight. And the Colonels have had some guys banged up too, although certainly not to this extent. And again, it is the kind of thing, you know, you love football, you love seeing guys get after it, but unfortunately this is the negative side of it, and it pops up every now and then, but hopefully not very much. 9:37 left to play in the Select Air fourth quarter. It's a 41-12 Altavista Colonel lead. Injury timeout still on the field, so we'll step aside for another quick timeout. Don't go changing the dial, though. Still plenty of football left, and then the Subway post-game show. We'll have some fun things to talk about, and definitely we'll talk more about some other area games, and then also the big Altavista-Rustburg matchup next week. Colonel's lead big over Greensville County on 105.5 KD Country.
English is
so much more.
English is
More than a hardware store.
English is.
Are you planning a painting project this fall? English's is now your authorized dealer for Valspar paint. Valspar, well known for its quality and color selection. Stop by English's in Altavista. Let their paint department help you make your next painting project a success.
English's is your complete home center.
Hello, this is Jerry Motley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. It's asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about, to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Boy, and something we hadn't talked about is the Moose Burger.
Yes. Tell me about the Moose Burger a little
it's
bit.
Incredible. It's almost a half pound, maybe a half pound burger. And it is something else.
I got to get down there.
Yeah,
you know, I'm a member.
You need.
I'm not just a spokesperson.
For lunch
I'm a
at
member.
12. Open for lunch at 12. And if you don't go down there, you can take a couple people with you.
Is this you asking to come with me?
I've been known to invite myself. I'm not above that.
There you go. We'll go down there sometime next week for a lunch. Heck, maybe even Friday before the game. That'd be fun. Good trip up to Rustburg next week. We already talked about it. We'll talk about it again. Good rivalry game. All these guys know each other. I say all, maybe not all, but a lot of them know each other. It's a close proximity. Gotta love a good Campbell County rivalry. And the Colonels have won the last two. I'm sure Rustburg and their head coach Jack Baker would like to change that this season when Altavista comes to town, but we'll see. And a lot of good football left on the season, Oscar. I know we're obviously looking forward to next week at Rustburg. Any other games on the schedule that you're looking forward to other than just all of them in general? Anything special maybe you're highlighting?
No, I mean, certainly the William Campbell, that rivalry is always good. And we know that William Campbell, we saw him. He's raising his hand. He's going off on the stretcher.
Cool.
He's raising his hand and acknowledging the crowd. That's great to see. And you can hear the Colonel fans in the background acknowledging his effort. And
you
certainly class act here.
That's nice. Yeah, about 75% of the Colonel stands got on their feet and clapped and cheered, particularly when he raised his hand. So that's neat. That's good. And again, our thoughts and prayers go out to the entire Greensville County community, and hope that young man is good to go as soon as next week, hopefully. Colonels are getting kind of stretched out over there on the sideline. Greensville County doing the same thing.
Yeah, and the officials need to make sure that they give these kids, they've been sitting for quite some time now. They need to make sure that they're giving the kids some time to get stretched back out and reduce the opportunity for additional injuries.
That's right. You'd hate to have an injury late in a game like this, in a game that, you know, it's hard for me to say it because it's not really the way I think, but let's be honest. I mean, the game's decided. It's 41-12. Altavista's up. Greensville County, I know somebody's come back from a deficit this large with 9 minutes, but chances are unlikely.
No.
So just, you know, you still got to play hard, but you got to play safe too.
That's right. And getting back to the conversation we're having, you know, games I'm looking forward to. Certainly William Campbell, that rivalry. We saw what they did at the tail end of the season last year. They caused problems for Altavista. They caused problems in the playoffs. Appomattox is certainly on a run and they look strong.
Yeah.
That's, you know, Dan River's always a fun game.
Got to go to
We've
Ringgold
got to go
this
to
year,
Ringgold, and you know what you're going to get. You're going to get athletes at Dan River. Chatham has always, you know, the last few years has been a solid game for the Colonels. So it's shaping up to be a fun season.
And you can't ever forget about the rivalry game against the Hawks. They got beat by Brookville tonight, but still a good team. They handed off to Shaheem Pinnell. He's going backwards, though. He tried to turn the corner and find some space. There was no hole available to him. He tried to make a hole by reversing directions, and it didn't work out.
Mateo Malback took the snap there, and that just the handoff never really went well.